Hey, hey.
How's it going, Matt?
Good. How you doing, Nick?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. When was the last time I was in here? Like a year ago?
Oh man, it was probably about a year ago. You guys had just with your band,
yeah.
your band Bad Honey, had just released the EP that you guys did in 2021.
Yeah. So
So,
I think it was like November
however long that
last
was.
year or something like that.
November. Okay.
I think it was. It was like fall, like late fall. I don't know, but it was about a year ago. I mean, time's been flying, man.
Yeah, man. So what has been up since that? So last time you guys were here, you just released that EP, and that was a great EP. I listened. I think I still have it on my gym playlist.
Nice.
So, yeah, man. What did you guys play any shows after that?
We did. We played some shows, but unfortunately, our drummer Chris, he has moved to Kansas City. Like I was telling you, I think about when we were texting, and so we've kind of been on a hiatus. And
Right, and he was here last time.
yeah, he was here.
with
That
you.
was Chris. He was with us. So yeah, so that's kind of been a bummer. We haven't, he moved. I think it was like May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So like we really haven't played any shows, and I keep getting like people reaching out about wanting to play, and
Yeah. So have you guys thought about getting a different drummer?
yeah, I thought about it, but kind of
He wrote a lot of the songs. With
yeah,
you.
it was a a team effort with me and him, so it's kind of like,
But
like
you-
I feel like it's Bad Honey's not the same without.
It's probably
Chris
not the
and-
same
and
without
that
him.
duo.
Yeah, you guys were kind of the songwriting duo.
Yeah, and like it's not. I don't want to say Bad Honey's. We're not done by any means,
Right.
but like obviously we're not in the same city anymore, so that kind of changes things up. So I think what we're gonna try to do is like figure out how we can maybe write remotely.
Yeah,
and
so
start
maybe
doing
try to
some
do.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and like Chris is still getting settled down there. It takes some time, so we'll come back. I mean, I foresee us releasing some more music in the future, but I'm actually currently been working with some new people and like writing some new music with some new
Really?
folks. Yeah, so that's been cool, and
And are you gonna do like a different project with these people?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's
so.
what it's kinda
Because
turning
you and him
into.
are kind of Bad Honey, so the
Yeah.
idea is. And do you guys have any tentative names or anything like that, or not really?
No,
No.
it's like super low pressure, which is great.
Yeah.
It's like super nice. It's just like, hey, this guy reached out to me. His name's Vaughn.
Drummer,
He's a guitar player.
guitar. So another guitar player.
Another guitar player. But he's got the drummer hookup and I got the bass hookup. So it's like the pieces are
guys-
fitting together. And like I said, super low pressure. So we're like, hey, let's just like get together, like show some riffs, see what, and like we've just been vibing. It's been going and been growing.
What's the style like, dude?
Similar to Bad Honey. Like,
I was gonna
it's
say
rock. Yeah, it's rock.
your
It's
style
not
is
fun.
kind of rock. You have a very
Yeah.
specific style of riff playing, and
Yeah.
like last time you were here, you were kind of talking about your unique guitar tone and everything like that.
Yeah, I don't think that is gonna go away.
Yeah,
but-
your riffing is probably intricate to like what you do. So
Totally, yeah. I mean, we're like been starting off with like riffs again, like working those out, and our plan is kind of just like basically let's come up with like 6 songs with like that are riff kind of focus, and even build out some parts, and then we're gonna show them to this bass player and drummer,
And
and,
then
just
get
like
them
kind of
on
work
board.
them out and see where we land. And then if it turns into like, hey, like we want to record this, awesome. We want to play some live shows, great. If we
Dude,
want to
yeah.
not do this ever again, cool. Like so,
right, so it's just
Yeah.
a feeling out. And just so everybody watching knows, so Matt is the lead singer and rhythm guitarist and probably main songwriter.
and lead guitar.
Oh, and you're doing all the leads in
Oh, yeah.
in the
It's
Seattle-based
just-
rock band Bad Honey.
Yeah, it's just
and Bad
me.
Honey played for how many years?
Oh God, I mean, I guess technically Chris and I started it back in like 2015.
Yeah, because I had met you when I was in Loudhead, and we played at a show together.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, that was,
2020 or something.
No, that was
2019,
pre-pandemic,
28. You're
man.
right, 2018,
yeah, that was.
2019.
I think it was 2019. It was. I
Okay.
think that was like the first year we started playing shows in Seattle.
No
so
shit.
I would say like really like 2018, 2019 is when. Because we released that
Right.
first EP in 2019. So that, I mean, we were a cover band back in Connecticut when we first started.
That's
And-
right. You guys were
yeah.
from Connecticut.
Yeah, and we moved
And then
out
moved here, got
Mhm.
jobs here.
Mhm.
And just remind me again where Chris moved to.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. And does he have any plans of still coming back, or no? Is it kind of?
I don't think so.
So it's a bummer too. So like, my drummer,
yeah,
James Jonda from
yeah.
Loudhead, also moved
right?
to Austin, Texas.
That's right. Yeah.
And you know, I still see him all the time, like on Instagram and stuff. And he was playing with another band. He's like still out there doing shit. And so like, I'm always rooting for him because I really like the guy. Yeah, and I just like, and he's always kind of supporting me, liking my stuff and everything. So it's like we still have this great.
You're friends.
Back and forth, we're friends, and it's like, you know, I'm always like thinking like, God, there's probably someday down the road when that will like. So it's like even you and Chris, like eventually, there's probably going to be a time when you make music again.
I hope so. I mean, I love making music with Chris, and I think it was something really special. And like, I mean,
it definitely was.
Yeah, and like, it was a bummer that he left, but you know, he had to do what he had to do for himself, and that's what he chose. And
no, I totally get it. But I remember seeing you guys, and you were one of the bands where like. And even speaking of James, like sometimes, you know, we'd be playing with certain bands and we won't say who or anything, but you know, it'd be like this thing where he would even kind of be like, you know, who are these fucking guys? You know, they're not that great. Or he'd be like, oh, that's not, you know. But I remember when we played with you guys, he was like, these guys are fucking good, and I thought the same thing. And you know, then listening to your EP, I just really hope you can do something with. Someone new and continue getting to use your talent. No, for real, dude. Yeah, like especially your riff playing and shit. Because I remember last time I said it was something like almost like Rage Against the Machine or like
a little Rage.
Well, kind of, you know, definitely not like the same kind of like, you know, political.
Well, I would say more Audio Slave, which is basically Rage, you know. Plus
definitely
Chris Cornell.
that really groovy riff shit, dude.
Totally.
That's like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's typically, you know, in my songwriting, it starts with some sort of riff. And this guy Vaughn, who's a guitar player, he's a great guitar player, and I think we're gonna balance each other out.
So that's what I was gonna ask. What are you guys gonna do in this new band? Is he gonna take leads? You gonna take leads? You gonna trade off?
I think he'll be lead because he's a better player. He's a better guitar player than me.
So since we're talking about old bandmates, I gotta shout out my old lead guitarist Shane was awesome too. Shane Spellman, yeah. I want to get him on this podcast again too sometime, and you know, who knows, maybe even play some stuff with him again. Yeah, that'd be really cool. So
nice.
But yeah, man, so that's cool. So you're gonna probably take up most of the riffing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna focus on the rhythm and some lead, but for singing.
And then you're gonna keep singing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember last time we were here, you talked about. You know, working on your singing and everything for that last EP, and like probably really got it to the best that it had ever been.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Myself?
Right? Are you writing some new stuff lyrically or anything, or have you been working on?
Not really. I haven't really started lyrics yet. I like to start with the music first. And I honestly I kind of took a break since Chris left, as you would.
Well, that makes a lot of dude. I haven't done anything in music since those guys. I mean, I've been just playing a little bit, you know, in here for fun. But yeah, no, I totally get it.
I'm trying not to lose it. Like it was nice to take a little break, but like I'm trying not to lose it. So this opportunity with these other guys are, you know, I'm excited about. I mean, I haven't written any lyrics or anything like that. I mean, and there's a couple like song ideas I had for Bad Honey that like didn't quite fit that I'm trying to like.
So maybe stuff that you couldn't really use in Bad Honey, but this is an opportunity. Maybe
Chris and I weren't you know, in agreement upon all the time. We didn't always agree, but
no, dude, I get that because there was definitely stuff that I wrote that was like, this is not a Loudhead thing,
right?
You know, when you get in a band, there's a certain vision or like a certain. You know, like this is definitely a Loudhead song. This is like definitely not a Loudhead song. You know, or totally. I don't know. Sometimes maybe you're wrong about that, or maybe you're right.
Yeah, but it's a delicate line, right? Because it's like, how do you know that you're not also stifling some new creativity or some new direction that, like, if you're just trying to stay within your bounds, like
no, I kind of agree, man.
It's hard to know, right?
Totally, because I remember, thinking that like. You know, okay, here's this image of we have Loudhead, and it's like, but what if this like song that's kind of like, you know, it doesn't seem heavy enough or whatever. What if it's like actually what you need in you know what I mean?
It's hard to know.
So it reminds me of like hearing that story. Like, there's like two stories in rock history that I can think of, and one is like Red Hot Chili Peppers, "Under the Bridge." Mm-hmm. Supposedly that was a song that Anthony Kiedis had. and was like, it's not going to work for Chili Peppers. It's too soft. It's too whatever. And the other guys in the band heard it or something and were like, oh my God, we have to fucking do this. And then they do it and it's this huge kind of ballad for him. They have like his mom and these church ladies sing the backup, and it becomes one of their biggest songs. And the other one I remember was Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. James Hetfield had that song and it's like, he wasn't going to share it because it's too soft. It's too pussy to be Metallica, and the other guys had to be like, "Look, we're going in a new direction." And now look that's probably one of their biggest songs ever, and I could not imagine a Metallica show without hearing Nothing Else Matters. And then when James plays that fucking solo, and it's one of the greatest parts of the show, dude. So I think you're right. There is that stuff where like sometimes you get an idea that this is not right, but it's like, maybe we need to change and grow a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think every artist struggles with, that it's like a self-critic, right? Because you also want to have, you can swing the other way where you're just like totally oblivious to everything that you're doing and think that you're the shit.
You're like writing the greatest shit ever, and you need somebody to come by and be like, dude, that's not that good.
You need to have some boundaries, I guess, in some sense. Like, but it's a balance, right? Like, I think with anything it is, and that's the. I think, but you have to be self-aware, but also not be afraid to like put yourself out there and try something different, right? And I mean, I think with the music, it's so tough because like I always struggle with the genres, right? Like that it kind of makes me think about that when people are like, "Oh, what kind of music do you play?" And I never really knew. I still don't really know what to say.
For you guys,
say rock.
I'd say hard rock. Like,
but
because you guys are heavy, but you're not like
but it's not metal.
It's not like fucking metal.
No, I don't. I like Metallica's probably the heaviest that I.
But that's the thing. You guys could fit into a Black Sabbath Metallica type of genre,
right? Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Which Sabbath, is the start of metal, right? But it's like.
I even thought that with the Loudhead EP, it was like a little bit when people.
You guys had a little bit of that.
Well, it was a little heavy, but my thing was like, and I loved the cover. We had this artist do the cover and everything, but I do remember like when you show people this cover with this like fucking screaming skull on it. I know a lot of people assumed it was like heavy fucking screamo metal. They were gonna like, oh, I can't listen to that, and then you listen to it, it's like, oh. There's actually singing, there's rhythm, like there's some ballads. It's like maybe fits more in with like, like you said, Audio Slave or Soundgarden or Pearl Jam.
Right.
Maybe a little Metallica, Megadeth-ish, but like I think sometimes the cover like scared people away, like that maybe would actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting how some artwork
it's weird,
make a difference on people's perception. I mean probably less than it used to, right? Because that was how anyone even picked up an album to check out, right? It's like that was your impression.
Yeah,
before you had to listen, you couldn't listen to it until you like picked it up.
True.
So it's like it's a different world with that. I mean, it definitely still matters. I think even with Spotify, like you get a vibe with what the music is. So
I think so too. And some of the new covers have some cool like moving artwork and shit. Like it's all on our phone now.
Yeah.
So like it is cool. Like I'm literally obsessed with the new Megadeth album, which is called The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. I don't know if you've heard it.
I haven't listened to it.
It's like I don't know. Are you even a Megadeth fan?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Well, if you're a Megadeth fan, it's literally like a triumph because it's one of the best albums that he's written since probably the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Come back. And I'm not saying, like, and you got to look at it as, like, okay, he's 60 years old. The band is from 80s thrash metal. And he just got a #3 record at 60 years old with a metal album against current pop music. So that's not just in the rock genre.
Right.
That was a #3 on Billboard Top 200.
Really?
So it's like, dude, that's pretty fucking...
there's a ton of metal fans, man.
And so, like...
metalheads all over the place.
And it's like, no lie, like, all the nostalgia... Because, when you get into a band too much, you just kind of, like, put rose-colored glasses on. I will say, all nostalgia aside, everything aside, this album is just fucking fantastic.
Okay, well, maybe I'll check... I don't know. Like I said, Sabbath and Metallica, like... And
that's,
even
like,
Metallica,
the heaviest. Yeah.
Like, Sabbath is probably that's my metal.
If you listen to it, my favorite tracks are... Dogs of Chernobyl. There's one called Mission to Mars, which is super cool because it's like it has like all the sound effects, like he's flying to Mars and everything, and like it's also super catchy. I like the catchy chorus in it, And what's the other one that's really badass? Night Stalkers, and it has Ice-T in it. The rapper has like a yeah.
Bring him back.
So yeah, talking about album covers, dude. What classic album covers are literally like your favorite?
My favorite album covers? Oh man. I mean, the first thing I could think of was all the Zeppelin covers.
They're all fucking badass, aren't they?
Yeah, I think just because I don't know, I never felt like super attached to any of the art because I like I think I've said this last on the podcast too, but I used to just download all my music.
Was it a LimeWire?
Yeah, I used LimeWire. Yeah, I
totally
LimeWired it up. So like
we're such the LimeWire generation.
yeah,
like
my brother was a Napster, and he was older, and I'd never got. I think Napster was pretty shut down by the time I think LimeWire is probably more illegal than Napster.
Right, because like Napster,
post Napster, and
it was after
like
Napster.
Serious
Dude,
torrent downloading.
it was fucking shady too. I remember LimeWire. I'd be like, I was downloading all kinds of shit. I thought it was cool though. You could find some cool live tracks and shit.
Yeah, no, it was LimeWire was the shit. I mean, it was, but it would take half a day to download 4 songs. But
I feel like it was a lot of viruses and shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're downloading. It was pretty dangerous.
yeah, for sure.
Your parents are like, "What the fuck's wrong with the computer?"
Yeah, I don't even know how. My parents were so unaware of. I mean, they know computers a little bit, but if it was me, I'd be like, "What the fuck is? Will you get this off of my computer?"
Oh my god, it was just like a
why do you
virus,
have
fucking virus machine, dude.
But yeah, I mean, I think of the Zeppelin.
Yep,
covers
definitely those for sure.
I remember this one album. I think it was the Aerosmith album. I don't know if I wouldn't say I liked this album artwork, but I just thinking of like when I was a kid, just remembering
just
it.
some that were made you remember.
Yeah, it was like I think it was like Get a Grip or something was the album name, and it was just like a picture of a cow's udder with a.
Dude, I remember that album cover.
Or is that right?
That's like let's look it up.
Or is
Aerosmith.
that a Blink album? Is that Blink or is that Aerosmith?
No, there's an Aerosmith. Let's see.
That might be Blink, because didn't Blink do something with a cow? I thought they did. I don't know.
No, you're right.
Like I said, I don't know. I don't think in the artwork.
Here it is. It's it's Get a Grip.
Oh, okay, I was right. Was it pierced? Is it just?
I think the nipple on the cow udder is pierced,
and
which is
branded.
so rock. Yeah, and then their name is like branded in it. I remember that shit, dude.
I don't support that album cover, by the way. It's animal cruelty. I really don't.
Yeah,
I just was thinking of an album.
That just reminded me of like the Undertow Tool album. Like it was like a cool album cover, but then like it had, before CDs used to have like the black tray in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And then like CDs eventually had like the clear tray in the bottom. And they put artwork under there.
Yep.
Well, in the Undertow Tool album, which another side note about that album is at the end, it would skip to track number 69. And then there was like a hidden track at track number 69 about like the plants and like how you're killing the plants and like they have souls too. Like basically out of this weird, like it's a crazy track, but
don't listen to that when you're high.
Oh my god, that's the best time to listen to it is if you get high.
With the plants.
But then so like it had a black tray in it, but you pulled it out and there was artwork underneath, and you weren't supposed to even know that you could do that. You just pop it out because it's black. So the clear ones you could see through, but this one you popped it out, and like right through the hole where the CD would go, there is a cow licking its own butthole, like in there. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the background of this Tool album. So check it out, Undertow. Pull out that back cover.
I remember my dad telling me, I don't remember which album, but he said that. God, I wouldn't even know the band, but he said one of the albums, the physical and like it was vinyl that you could, when you open it up, you could like separate your weed with it. Like
really?
It was like there was like a texture on the
and it was
cover.
made specifically for that.
I think it would like split up your
This is the
seeds and
cow.
stems.
This is what was underneath. Just a cow licking its butthole.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was the hidden artwork in Tool Undertow. So there was something on vinyl albums.
I don't know if it was like on all. I forgot which band. I should have asked him.
Was it something you like grind your weed with?
No, I think it was more like you would like it would help separate it because like you would, like your seeds and your stem, like the shit you don't want. Like I think it would help separate. It would like stick. That would stick on the album.
And that was like something like only cool people knew.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know how.
Like, we gotta ask your dad, dude.
Yeah, I know he was. I think I remember him telling me about that. But he's yeah, he's a big music head.
Dude, that mythology of like all the stuff, like I love that about you're like in a rock band, you probably love all like you'd hear the stuff about like you play the album backwards and it has like what is that, the Beatles and shit, or
I think and I think
like
Sabbath was
Kiss was like really had a lot of cool shit like that. And
it just sounded crazy to me. I never heard. I mean, it's like,
yeah, I don't think I ever heard it either.
Yeah,
I think people are smoking too much weed.
Yeah,
you're right.
They're looking too into it.
If you look hard enough, you'll find shit like that, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
that's wild. So what are some of the other great album covers, you think?
Oh, God.
First of all, what's your favorite? Like, I remember talking to you last time, but what was your favorite stuff? Sorry, my phone needs to be silenced.
I mean, like, yeah, Sabbath is a big one. Zeppelin. What have I been listening to more recently?
What do you think about the new Ozzy stuff? He's been putting out some...
I never really got into Ozzy's.
Not solo?
Like, yeah, okay. Not really solo. I mean...
I got to give it up to him for still going, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I saw Sabbath, Black Sabbath, God, what was it, it's their last tour, I guess.
So, like, the 13 album.
I mean, well, not...
Or was it the
No,
end?
They didn't have new music. They were back on tour.
Okay, because they put out an album, like 2012, with that God is Dead song.
Yeah, that was... I think this was, like, it was before I moved out to Seattle, so that was, like, 2015, I think.
Okay, so this is that last tour they did, and I think they did a live album.
Yeah, probably that they released. I didn't hear that, but I saw them live, and like, I mean, Ozzy's Ozzy, and like definitely a pivotal part of Black Sabbath. But like, I mean, really it's the music, man.
It's the
music, and like with Tony Iommi and with the bass and the drum, like it's just. I mean, they didn't have their original.
They
drummer.
even would fight about that stuff too, because I remember like Ozzy would get pissed, like, he doesn't want me fucking yelling during his fucking guitar solo, and he'd be like, that's what I do. He's like,
that's pretty good Ozzy.
He gets all pissed off, like, fucking, Sharon.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, he's just like he was great. I mean, he was like watching like a kid at a birthday party, like at his birthday party, singing karaoke. But I mean, he was better. But he had like a teleprompter for the lyrics.
Ozzy did.
Yeah, and he would just like go around the stage, and he was so excited. Like, I mean,
well, that's what I imagine. Like, I imagine Tony was just like, bro, I'm trying to play my guitar solo, and you keep going, you're not fucking crazy enough, just. So I'm sure they fought about that. God, and Ozzy's probably like, I'm just trying to get the crowd pumped up, And
yeah, too much drama, man, in rock bands. That's not my vibe.
You think there is?
Oh yeah, I'm all about the drama free. And that was one of the I won't call out the band that the person I'm working with, but like yeah, there's just drama. There's always drama.
I think you're right.
I really try to cultivate a drama free zone.
I try. I think in Loudhead, if there was drama, it was definitely me. It was definitely my fault.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
We're all guilty. I've been there, man. I've.
Well, because you're a songwriter, you get it. Like you said, you have to be open to other people's opinions.
Yeah.
And like
there's vulnerability.
They call it killing your babies.
Yeah. Well, you have to be.
So if you really love something and you've created it, and you have to be open to like these other guys coming in, you have to be, like you said, vulnerable enough to like. They're going to come in and start being like, we need to like cut this or do that. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's perfect.
yeah, so you get it.
Yeah, it's tough. But I also like the joy I find too in making music, and a lot of stuff I do is just the collaboration element of it too.
Right, and I think that was a good learning experience. Like, and you probably had a similar thing in your band, right? Like learning how to be a little more open to other people's suggestions and realize it's not always about you and everything.
I don't know. Sometimes, man, with music, like, because I don't know, I don't view myself as this like great musician that like I encourage people to bring their talents and skills and what their opinions into that, because like I really don't know. Like, I don't know all the time of like what the right thing to do is, and like sometimes I feel like my job can be more facilitating the space of like creating music instead of necessarily making all the decisions on like what sounds good, but like trying to just be like, cool, like what do you think of this, or like, oh, let's try that idea, like not being like more facilitating a space of like creativity instead of
right. So you bring up the creativity and ideas, and then you're okay with letting somebody else kind of
totally, or just being like, hey, I'm just being like, I don't know, man. Like, what if we
put this here? We'll put this here. We'll put this here.
Yeah, and also just being like, if I don't like something, I try not to like, like for example, like recently I was just working with these guys, and like the bass player was like playing with us, and like he like had this really cool part that he just came up with, and I was like, I really liked the part, but I didn't necessarily like where he was thinking of putting it. So I spoke. I was like, hey, this is my thoughts on it. Like I mean, what do you think? Like, do you think that makes sense? And like once I expressed like, hey, what's going, instead of like, no, that's not good. Like I don't like it. Like I tried to express like, oh, maybe it feels like because we're not, what was happening with, I'm trying to remember. It was just like it felt like it shifted too much from, it was supposed to be like a chorus but the vibe had changed too much of like the tone of it, that it felt like it needed to happen later in the song, and then we would come back to the original kind of like riff or the what do you call it, like the foundation of the song, of the sound, and like instead of like having this flip flop between going to this kind of different sounding chorus, it almost sounded like a key change to that, where it was like key changing back and forth, and that was like a little too much. But his idea was awesome, and it sounded super cool, and I wanted to keep it, and like, but it was, I still got like his feedback on it and what he thought, and and then the guitar player too, and we just kind of had like a more of a discussion instead of it kind of feeling like egos. I just like zero.
So it
egos,
worked
man.
out in a positive way because you guys
yeah.
all kept it chill. Yeah. Damn, dude. I know. Yeah, it gets hard with that stuff.
It's egos, man.
It's definitely egos. Even like I
gotta-
remember like mixing the loud head thing. It'd be like I'd get so worried about like, well, the vocals aren't loud enough or like this, and then they'd be like, yeah, you're right. And it was weird. Like I'd get super paranoid sometimes and be scared to say something, and then when I would actually say it, the other guys in the band would be like, yeah, you're totally right. And I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I was like worrying too much about being too egotistical where I didn't want to say anything, worried like they're going to say this or think this. And then they'd actually have my back, and I'd be like, oh, okay. So I was worried for no reason, making shit up in your head. And then, they had stuff that they definitely were worried about too, and they were able to bring it. And I think we did a pretty good job of that. I think in any band, it is just tough, dude.
Well, it's a family, man. I mean, it's a family dynamic in some sense that, like, I think it's trust. You have to build trust with each other, and like, and keep that trust. And there's ways that it can be broken, right? Like, and you have to, like, in any relationship, like, I think, and when you let egos get in the way, and like, you take everything personally, and then you're not communicating, like, these are all it's just like a relationship. And I think we talked about that before, but it's like, you gotta approach this. Because any space that you're going to be vulnerable with people is like going to represent relationships and whatever dynamics that you've been through in your life. So if you grew up in a shitty environment where you didn't, that's going to come out. Like, totally, because you're being vulnerable. Like in like any creative space, like that happen, and that's where a lot of a lot of creatives come from hard backgrounds and like that,
and they maybe don't have those skills. They didn't learn those kind of communicate. Totally. I mean, I think even
communication,
even good families, there's a lot of stuff that's like fucked up sometimes that you don't really know until you get into a relationship, right?
Totally, yeah. And like, I mean, we're human beings. Like, we're not perfect. Like, I think what matters is like you take responsibility for the shit that you have, and you try to be a better person. And like, that's a lot more than a lot of people. Like, a lot of people don't do that.
Right. So, like, if you get a band with guys that are even trying to do that, you're probably already better off.
Yeah, totally. And like I don't know, it's something I've always like, if feel like I've been good at in my life is like I pick up on people's energy and their vibe, and like I get a good, not like I always say everyone judges each other in some sense, but like you have to give an opportunity for someone to show you who they really are.
Right.
And so like, because I think we're human beings, like it's just in our nature to like make assumptions about a situation or somebody, but like I really try to be open to, let someone show me who they really are and not judge them. But also like I can pick up on like energy and like, this person doesn't seem like someone I'm going to vibe with. So like, I'm going to keep my distance, or like, hey, like I vibe with this person, like, I just feel like I've always drawn good people to me.
And sometimes instantly you vibe with someone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But, like, just having, like, just trusting my instinct of, like, what is this feel right? Like, and not necessarily in a judgmental way of, like, there's a problem, but just, like, yeah, my energy is probably not going to, we don't match well. Like, there's so many different types of people. Like, I don't know. There's just people that sometimes you just like, hey, like we match super well, and then there's other people like we just are such different people, and it doesn't mean we're a bad person. It's just like we just are not
just the vibes. And are you saying that in the sense of like all relationships, or has that happened to you musically?
I would say all relationships, but like,
Right.
including friend. Like I've had such great friends in my life, and like I feel very fortunate about that. And just like looking back, like wow, I've been so lucky that these people have come in my life, and like, but I also have had moments where I'm like, yeah, and this person doesn't seem right. Like I gotta keep my distance.
It's
Like,
hard when you actually kind of want something to be good, but you know this person's bad for you.
oh sure,
And not
yeah.
even just like romantic relationship, but like you said, any kind of like
yeah, any relationship.
where like somebody's actually kind of toxic for you.
yeah,
And it's like you have to try to figure, and that can be hard because you're like, if you're somebody that's loyal, you're trying to like
yeah, for sure.
keep it together, but it's like actually it needs to end so that you can
Yeah, sometimes
find the right people for you.
totally, and like I mean, it really matters who you surround yourself with, for sure, and like,
They say that, man, like
it really does.
hang out with 5 like losers, you'll be like the 6th loser.
Yeah, I think they
type
say
of
like
thing.
the you are the 5 closest people.
The sum.
Yeah. Of
Shit,
sum of
I
all
gotta
the people.
get better friends,
Gotta get
dude.
better- I like my
Man,
friends,
fuck
my
all
friends.
you guys. Bunch of fucking freaks. No, I have like the greatest friends, dude,
That's
and
awesome.
family. Like I'm very, very blessed with that stuff.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Yeah, that's something.
You're the same too, huh?
Yeah, I feel very grateful for all the people in my life, and like I had like, if I can go on a little story here, so I have this condition called Eosinphilic Esophagitis. So it's like inflammation in my esophagus from food allergies.
Got it.
And back in
How do you say that again?
Eosinphilic Esophagitis.
Okay.
So it's just inflammation, like an autoimmune disease.
Yes.
So born with it, genetic kind of
Whole
deal.
life.
Yeah, pretty much the whole life since I was like 12. So the symptoms really when it's bad is like I've gotten food stuck in my esophagus while I'm eating, and I've had to like drink water and like things go down slow. So back in 2018, I ate some food. It was a burrito, steak burrito. I got a piece of steak stuck in my esophagus, drank water, and then I felt this intense pressure, pain, and it burst in my esophagus, tore. I got a tear in my esophagus, a 2-centimeter tear in my esophagus. And I had to go to the hospital. I was there for like a month. Like I almost died from it, like because I got an infection in my chest and like all this stuff happens.
How did you know that? You just feel
Because it was super painful.
Oh, so it was just
yeah.
super painful. So you knew something,
Yeah.
and like, was it something where you immediately knew, or were you kind of waiting around, like hoping it would clear up? And
I
then,
was hoping it was clear up. I had something similar happen to me when I was in New Zealand, where I was eating something and I felt really intense pain. I started spitting up blood, and I thought like I was internally bleeding and dying. That freaked the fucking shit out of me. Like I was freaked out by that.
but so how does that? So when you're eating, how do you know if that's going to happen? Is there a certain way? Is there
now it
certain
doesn't
foods?
happen because I take medicine for it. But
Oh, so
I
this was
wasn't-
before you.
yeah, I was. So it's like diet based. So I'm allergic to dairy and gluten. So those two things cause inflammation, and it's like a slow reaction. It's not like a anaphylactic type.
So when the
situation.
inflammation happens, is that what caused the tear?
Yeah, because it's just
Or it causes the food to get
It was
trapped.
weak. Well, the tear was super rare. I mean, that's like not common.
Yeah, that
especially
just-
I was 25, so it's like that was not a common thing for 20. Like honestly, like
And it wasn't like you were eating any differently than anybody
no,
else.
no,
like
no. I
just-
mean, it was a total freak kind of accident that.
My
was,
God, man, thank
and,
God.
And obviously I'm alright, but like my point of that was like it was kind of like a big moment in my life, not only because it was pretty traumatic and like had to go to the hospital and was like I didn't eat for weeks. Like I was on a feeding tube. I had chest tubes. Like I was in the hospital. I didn't walk for like a week because they had done this like pretty big surgery. And then but it was cool about it. The silver lining of it was I really got to like see who my friends like a lot. I had
It
so many.
showed you how much people really
people
care.
really care, and it was like, and a family friend started like a GoFundMe for my hospital bills, and like immediately people chipped in like and raised money for me to pay for my bills, which was a life-saving thing on its own outside of my health, but just my financial situation was super important, and it was cool because like I was on I was on a floor with a bunch of people, and like I started realizing each day like most of these people, no one's coming to see them, like, and it's like it was really
Yeah, man. So that made you really
it
feel
was,
like
it was sad, and,
your friends, like you're like.
and I had
"Damn."
someone there every single day. There was a new person or like another person, like every single day someone was there visiting me, and it was a moment I realized like how lucky I was, and like
to be loved and
just be about that and like how well, and also like because like I try to give out love to people too, you know, and like, and I think that just like solidified how important that is to like you get what you put in, you know, like, and I really care about people, like I really do to a fault at times, but
I know, but that just made me think like we just take things so for granted, you know, like
we do,
and you're in a moment like that when you're
I was in
probably
crisis,
scared
man.
that you're gonna die.
Yeah, I was in crisis. And everyone was there. Like part of me feels like if I didn't have anybody, I don't know if I would have got through.
Well, that's what it made me think of too. Is like
Yeah.
imagine all the people out there. Like you said, you're in a spot like that, and it makes you realize. And you just made me think just now of all the people I have in my life that I love so much, and you know we're so lucky to have that. But there's so many people out there that have none of that. You know what I mean? And it's like. So it makes you appreciate, man, you know, it's so crazy because we get so caught up in, and I do, caught up in everything you're doing and stuff. And
it's life, man.
You think about like the stuff that actually matters, man. Whew,
Yeah. I mean, it definitely was a moment in my life that like, it totally highlighted when they say like when you're in crisis, like, or like you almost, you almost die and like, what do you think? It's like all I thought about was the people I love. Like, that's all I thought about at that. Like, I didn't give a shit about anything but the people that I love. You know, and, like, that's everything goes back to that. Like, your relationships with people and like, from my family to friends, you know, and, like, I just, like, I was single at the time, but, like, I would have totally, my girlfriend would have been part of that list as well, you know, so like,
you're still with your same girlfriend?
I am, yeah.
You guys aren't married yet or anything?
Not yet.
Not yet? What are you doing, dude?
We got plans.
I'm like, damn, you should have a couple kids by now or some shit.
Yeah, we're 3.5 years, so this is 2022, you know.
Yeah, not everybody's having kids now.
I mean, we want to. Yeah. That's the
I was
plan.
gonna say I have like a lot of friends right now that are like grown adults, and they're just like, I don't know if they're gonna even have kids, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you don't want to have kids, you should not have kids. Because
they say you're saving the environment by just not having kids, dude.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, probably. It's like more resources.
Unless you are contributing more pollution.
Right, unless you're like polluting more than it would take to have a kid.
Yeah, that doesn't give you the right to pollute more.
So it's like, well, I didn't have any kids, so I'm just going to like dump a bunch of shit in the water and like fucking.
Imagine that was just like a thing. Some guy's like, well, I don't have any kids. I can do it. What are you talking about? I'm good.
Bro, I didn't have any kids. I'm throwing all my recycling in the garbage.
I'm not using the blue bin. Fuck that.
Yeah, isn't that fun? Oh, man.
No, I mean, yeah, like it's definitely a different world. I mean, I definitely want to have kids, and I mean, we're just trying to be, you know.
But you're still pretty young, right?
I just turned 30 this year.
Yeah, that's still young.
Yeah, I'm still young. Yeah.
I guess, like, what does it feel like for you turning 30? Does it feel weird?
It feels fine. I mean, I don't feel. Here's a funny thing about turning 30. The one thing about 30 for me, I remember when I was a kid. I don't know. I was probably like 7 or whatever. This other like 6-year-old girl was doing a palm reading on my hand.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, your
line.
Your line looks like this, and like this is your headline or whatever." And then she goes, "Oh, like, your lifeline's really short. You're gonna die when you're 30." And I was like,
"You're like, so now do you feel like?"
Out. So it freaked me out. I was like a kid. I was like, so in my head, I always had like 30 being the number. I'm like, well, I got till 30, and it felt far away, but now I'm on the. But I don't believe. And then I've got it checked by professionals. They said that's not true. So.
Well, for starters, I don't know how much stock you should put in palm reading. But you know what's weird? Yeah, I guess I'm kind of open to everything, dude. So you're right. No, I don't know. But you know what's weird is like people should not do that kind of shit because like the power. We were talking yesterday on the podcast about like this study where they did this study where they like people had needed knee surgery and they fixed like half of them and the other half they just cut into the knee but didn't do anything. And, like, the placebo effect, like, I can't remember what percentage, they all got better. So, like, even the people that didn't... So, just the idea that they had surgery made them feel like their knee got better. And then, so that just made me think of, like, if you tell somebody something like that, like, you're going to die at 30, like, that's scary because if that person is really susceptible, it could lead them down this path to subconsciously, like, die at the age of 30. Because you think about, like when there used to be, like, witch doctors and tribes and all this stuff, and, like... He's like the doctor, and he would tell people, like, you're going to die, and they'd die. because it was like the power of suggestion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know enough.
Or like
about
you're
that,
gonna get
but
better. I mean, I think that shit used to really happen, dude.
People would die. They used to die a lot.
Yeah, but I think sometimes you could die just because
someone told you.
Somebody that you believe in
Nick,
told you.
I hope you're not making me feel better about the palm reading. Just like,
But no, I'm telling you, don't believe it. You're
Oh,
not
okay.
gonna die,
No.
dude.
Okay, cool.
I remember we had this dude. It was this Muay Thai guy was coming in, and he like started reading everybody's palms and shit too. It's like so funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't remember what he said about mine, but it was like all good shit, and I was like, yeah. Then I
Yeah.
felt like, you feel
That's
all
right.
good.
That's right.
But that's kind of weird, and I don't know. Some of it, I don't know. I don't think
The palm reading. I'm not. My girlfriend does tarot card reading.
Can she do my reading? I love that shit.
Yeah, she would totally do. She loves doing
Is she
it.
like super into it?
She's into it. She's and she's like, she's into astrology and things like that. But the palm reading, she's tried to learn the palm reading, but like I don't know, the tarot card reading. What I was gonna say is like
I want to get my tarot cards read. I love that shit.
yeah, it's fun. It is fun. I was gonna say like that. To me, that works because not necessarily there's like this magic happening of like the cards know exactly, but what it does is it makes you think, and it makes you go. Like I always like to think of like your thoughts as like layers, right? Like most of the time we're operating on like a more surface layer, but then as you dig deeper, right? Like it kind of just helps you peel back some of these layers because at the end of the day, we're all dealing with shit. Like,
dude, you're such a musician. Holy shit! Like. No, I totally understand what you're saying.
What I mean, though?
No, and I say that with like respect because I do think like to be a musician, like when you're playing with other people and like in sync with them and like locked in with them, you are in different realms.
Sure, yeah.
You're not in like like you said there's different layers. Like a lot of times we're like going through life and we're just like on the surface level. Like if I'm working at the bar and I'm serving, it's like all just surface. Like what you just said is like you're talking about. It makes you think, or like when you get into like a certain conversation with people, you do get into these other kind of like realms or layers. And I think when you're playing music, you 100% get into this other like dimension, and you're like locked in with each other.
Yeah, no, for sure.
When you're in a deep groove with somebody, and like
I love playing with people. It's so much fun.
It's like a subconscious communication of. So it's like beyond the five senses. I feel like.
Yeah, it's
using the five.
Well,
senses.
I mean, you're communicating, right? And there's a level of like understanding.
And think about the intricate little levels of like you're receiving and putting out and making tiny adjustments as you're receiving different information. Think how crazy the human body is that we're able to do that shit, dude.
Especially when you're like jamming too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's like when it's not structured and you're just like playing off each other. And like sometimes, do you like certain jam bands or do you only like structured stuff?
Yeah, I kind of like I don't. I kind of only like structured stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
so you're not gonna be a fish guy.
Yeah. I worked a fish concert.
I can't do fish either. Like the closest I get is I love like Neil Young with Crazy Horse.
Oh,
you know, and they get pretty fucking.
Yeah, like when they jam, or like a Skinner jam, like a
or like Skinner. Oh my fucking god, like Freebird all day.
Or Allman Brother jam.
Yeah, so I think it has a place. I can't get on the fish level.
I would say in a live setting, I'm more into it.
Or like, yeah, if you see Pearl Jam and they play like Even Flow, you know it's going to be like 15 minutes long.
Yeah, like that's cool. But I think like recorded, like I'm probably going to listen to something a little more structured.
A little more concise and structured.
Yeah, but
what's some stuff that's you've been listening to lately that's your favorite?
Oh God, what have I been listening to? I've been my girlfriend's been getting really into Machine Gun Kelly. So I've
buddy back home, my old Cajon player Andrew has been
punk pop is back.
Right, he's been saying like sticking up for Machine Gun Kelly, and I haven't heard a lot of it. I will
Some of this stuff is good.
I will say this, dude. Everything he's doing with like the image and like wearing like the pink stuff and like the hair and the jewelry and like the kind of creepy shit he's doing with Megan Fox, who's like an all-time hottie. Like, dude, I think it's fucking great. I think that's what rock music is supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, he's bringing back pop punk. But Travis Barker is slowly taking over the music industry.
And he's part of that Machine Gun Kelly thing.
Oh yeah,
he's the drummer.
Yeah, he's the drummer. He's a producer. He's been producing.
Yeah.
And he's and also Blink's back. Did you know Blink's back?
Blink-182. Okay, so
they're going on tour, which I would actually love to see them play. That would be awesome.
You know what I'm gonna do? Fuck all you fucking people that are gonna be like, oh, that's not rock and roll, that's not metal. Like, I do love Slipknot. I think they were kind of like whatever. They're badass, but I'm gonna add this Machine Gun Kelly album to my.
You should. I mean, I don't know.
Fuck it, dude.
I saw him live.
I really like Post Malone. I got all kinds of shit on my. I've really opened up to music lately. When I was a kid, it was like
rock,
Metallica, Megadeth, fuck everything.
But that's
else.
also part of like the metal mentality, right? Like,
it is,
to
man.
be like you're just a metalhead, or you just listen.
Yeah, and everything else is pussy.
Yeah,
it's a big pose, you know.
Yeah,
like, and
you'd be trying to be a tough guy.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff still. I mean, rock seems to become a bit like this pop punk, but we saw him live. Machine Gun Kelly, we just like on.
I'm gonna add it to my workout playlist because I got like a lot of rap on there, dude. I even have like R. Kelly on there.
Oh, nice.
Which is
sad.
sad.
I used to listen to a bunch. Yeah.
I keep saying it's sad because he's like a rapist now.
Well, I mean, it's
or whatever he did.
I mean, yeah, fuck
but
R. Kelly.
His music is so fucking good, man.
Yeah, fuck. I don't. Well, just does he still own his music? If he doesn't,
I don't know. It's kind of like listening to Michael Jackson or like.
Well, it's like what's that? That's there was a song by what was his name? Glitter something. Hey, you know that song.
Yeah,
so that guy, that's
song, an old song.
Yeah, I like that song, but it's like that guy who made the song was this big creep,
right?
Fucking like.
I remember hearing that, but that was like on every like jock jams,
right? But
remember like at every football game you've ever been to, they play that song, and the guy was just like what a horrible person.
Yeah, he was like, I think he was a rapist as well, but he doesn't own the music anymore, so you can listen to that song. He's not making. And
you're not
money.
actually.
He's not making any money. Yeah, so you just gotta check who owns the music if he does.
Well,
if R. Kelly, he probably still does.
I do think if you listen to R. Kelly, you're probably still helping him out in prison.
Listen to R.
But he's being rehabilitated by the state or something. Probably not, but
the prisons do not do that.
They don't fix that shit.
No, they don't. Unfortunately.
But that is bad, dude. I'm like, his music's really good in the gym sometimes. It's like,
I haven't heard listen to R. Kelly in a long fucking time.
I know. Anyways,
speaking of rap and rock, remember when? Because it's like it's starting to happen right now that like rock and rap is like, or hip hop is like merging, and it's like pretty cool at times. But remember when Lil Wayne tried to do that?
What was it? I never saw that.
He like came out with like a rock album, and he like there's like I remember there was this video that was viral.
Shit. Oh my god, that was just
I
was trying to put this in the description. I'm like, I literally just said that,
man.
That's the power of being live on YouTube, dude.
Damn. It's not that delayed either. But he there was this funny video of him playing a guitar solo or something that he struggled with.
So Lil Wayne.
But yeah, he had like, I remember in high school listening to like, he had some of these like rock heavy, they were basically like rock music, but he would rap over it. And that was interesting. But it never really stuck. But I think he was the pioneer. And now they're
Lil Wayne rap music, dude. I don't know about that. Rock music.
It was a very short. I just remember it from high school, like, and there was a couple like, I don't know.
To look that up,
it was just like some rock. It wasn't good.
If we didn't get pulled from YouTube for playing music, I'd play it right now.
Oh yeah, you can't play.
I can't play it.
Damn. That's
someday when I'm huge and I have a giant Spotify deal. We can listen to whatever the fuck we want while we're on here, but for now, I guess I'm just gonna have to take your word and look it up later. What were the other big like crossovers? Like I don't know. I actually really like. I've been listening to a lot more rap stuff lately.
Nice.
Just like because I keep adding stuff to my gym playlist, so it's like. I don't know what, like Dr. Dre for sure, Snoop Dogg, but then he took all his music off because he's going to try to sell it himself.
Oh, really?
Like he bought Death Row Records, and I think he's kind of angry about the way that bands are paid and structured on streaming services, which makes a lot of sense. You probably know being in the...
Oh, yeah.
So, like, he thinks it's bullshit, and, he's like a guy that's always... He's like in everything. He's cooking with Martha Stewart. He's selling weed. He's on WWE. He's a fucking businessman. So he bought Death Row Records and he took back all of his music, and it's not on Spotify or anything anymore.
I didn't know about that.
So like the stuff if you listen to a Dr. Dre album, you still hear the Snoop Dogg tracks.
all the featuring.
But Snoop's albums themselves are gone, and I think he's gonna try to start his own like Death Row app which will pay the artists
Interesting.
more directly.
Interesting. I wonder if that would be something that would happen.
What if something like that
future.
happens more in the future where artists actually, you know who else is trying to do that is Kanye.
But the only problem is, you have to pay for the app?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the
No
problem
one
if you're
wants to pay
small.
for it.
If you're a guy like Snoop, you can do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, there are people going to want to pay. It's like, dude, it's like this. I just believe it's like with like Netflix and Hulu and Disney, like all these streaming services. Like, eventually, it's just going to become cable again. We're like, hey, you pay us one monthly fee, well, you'll get all this. It's just we're just going around in a circle.
Right.
So it's like I don't know if there's any progression.
Because that is the joke in streaming right now, isn't it? It's like, even like South Park did that in their newest episodes, like the streaming wars. It's like, and they're even making fun of how they're playing two streamers against each other because like they have their little short movies on Paramount Plus, but they have all their episodes on HBO.
Yeah.
And they even like crack a joke about that in the episode about like, what if we played two of them against each other?
It's crazy. I mean, that's just great. But yeah, the streaming stuff is, I mean,
it's pretty wild, dude.
It's a weird.
I mean, how many streaming things are you paying for right now?
Me? Not a lot. Maybe like I got Hulu, Netflix, Spotify.
Right. That's already 3, dude.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's about it in terms of like the streaming entertainment stuff. I mean, I share Netflix with my family, and then we got.
I'll cut that part out.
Oh wait, yeah, don't tell.
Nobody here sharing any passwords.
It's fine. We know each other.
We're not sharing any Netflix accounts.
We're blood related.
We love you. We love your shows. I'm a huge Stranger Things fan.
I'll take a DNA test if you need Netflix.
Yeah.
If you need
but it is funny. Like I know between like me and my roommate, I think we got like Paramount Plus, Hulu, HBO, Netflix. Like it's like
you got more than enough shit to watch.
Yeah, if you get a roommate, it's not bad. You split them up.
Yeah,
it's like you buy these streamers, I'll buy these streamers. We are covered. We got everything. It's like,
nice. Yeah, but yeah, I don't. The streaming service, Spotify, it's a weird place. It's cool, like from a listening standpoint, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, dude, I love like that's like somebody was talking the other day. One of my coworkers about like, I need to take all my old CDs and rip them onto my laptop so I can listen to it. I'm like, dude, just get Apple Music. What are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
I guess like I'm like judging him. I'm like, he should do whatever he wants. Maybe he likes the sound quality or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was kind of just like, what are you doing? Like, I literally can just look up any album I want on my phone in like 2 seconds and listen to it.
Yeah, it's
in like lossless audio too. Like I've switched all. That's one big thing that changed it for me is like I hate MP3 sound,
Mm-hmm.
But if you switch to like the highest level on like Apple Music,
can you do that on Spotify?
I think Spotify's fucked.
Yeah, I don't.
No offense to Spotify, because I would love to have my podcast on there eventually, but which actually I probably will, because I think I can even do it now. But
don't talk shit about Spotify.
Yeah, so I'm not talking shit about anybody.
We don't talk shit here.
We're businessmen here, like Snoop Dogg. But yeah, seriously, Apple or what is it? Yeah, fucking Apple Music. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Apple Music. That's one of
them. Apple Music is what I listen to, and if you go to their like lossless, the highest cool. Audio setting, dude, it is mind-blowingly better.
Yeah, like, it does matter. I mean, I think the average person probably can't tell.
The average person can't tell. They don't give a shit. But like I grew up on fucking like CDs, dude. Like you probably did too.
High fidelity.
Really good sound quality.
Yeah.
So like you can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can tell the difference. I mean, yeah, it's
but small, not many people. You're right. Nobody really cares.
And that's what's
like they're watching TikTok right now. They don't give a shit about sound.
Also, most people listen to a lot of shit on these.
And if a song's like over 2 minutes, they're not gonna listen to it anyway. You're right. Never mind.
But it depends. But
for me personally, that's how I like to listen to my music. The highest quality, and it does sound better. And so shout out to Apple Music.
Dude, you're killing it.
You're killing it for real. It sounds great. Even in my vehicle, it sounds awesome.
Hell yeah. What else is going on in my life?
Are you still doing improv and stuff?
Yeah, still doing improv.
Because I fucking love that, dude. I was like, remember when Ben? I used to have this co-host named Ben?
Well, I was trying to get him to do it.
The Nick and Ben podcast. Remember that guy, Ben?
Oh, is that who is? What is?
Yeah, there's this guy named Ben.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I still have him in the title, Nick and Ben podcast.
He's still getting royalty checks.
He's still getting all the royalty checks from the massive amounts of money that I make from doing this podcast. And he just, he's doing a different job, but like that guy is so talented and so funny
Yeah, I was trying to get him. I should try to reach back out to him.
I will too. I'll hit him up and tell him to hit you up.
Does he live with you here?
He doesn't live here. He lives with his girlfriend Mina, who was here last time, in Bellevue. I think for now, I'm not sure. We just had his birthday party, and again, like he's just such a funny, talented dude. Like even at his birthday party, him and his friends are just like cracking me up.
Nice.
And
yeah, we gotta get him in.
I think he'd be really good at improv, dude.
Yeah. I know
he's been a delivery guy for Stoop Brewing now.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of getting jacked, you know.
What do you mean?
From lifting all those kegs, dude. He's turning into a beast.
Yeah, well, then he can't be funny then.
No, he can't be funny. Once you get muscles, you can't be funny.
Once you look like you.
Once you start lifting like me, you stop being funny, and your music skills.
You see the difference?
Dude, you look fucking fit.
Oh, my. I have been working out. Maybe we can talk about that.
Dude, I'm going to be a trainer. I could fucking...
I'm working out a little bit, but I'm too...
But I would say overall, you already look fit, dude.
Oh, thank you, but
I mean, that's one thing. It's like, you know... I mean, I think just general health, like people should just.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get, you know.
Yeah, you're not. You don't have. Not everybody has to take it.
Well,
to
that's
maybe,
a light. I mean, that's you. I mean, from my understanding, like, I mean, you obviously put a lot of time and effort.
Well, that's
like,
my thing, but I definitely don't think everybody should have to try to take it to the level I do. But I also think.
But you enjoy doing it.
Oh my god,
right?
I love it.
Yeah, so that's a different thing. I mean, that's cool, man. Like, because that's dedication, that's passion. Like, that's cool.
I've really been falling in love with it over the last couple years, and it's really changed my life. But my point is, like, I just think everybody should generally be healthy.
100%.
And even when I become a trainer, that's what I want to do. Like, not everybody has to be like, I want to be a huge ripped bodybuilder. I just want to help people be like, feel good.
Yeah, I think my goal is just like, I don't want to feel old.
Well, and you look good, dude. Like,
Thanks,
you look like you should be in a rock band. You know what I'm saying? You got a good head of hair on you. You're only 30, dude. Come on, bro. You got nothing to be worried about. You got nothing to be worried. You already have a girlfriend.
I'm set.
Actually, if you look this good and you already have a girlfriend, you're doing something better than most people. Because usually when people like find someone they love, they're just let it all go.
Yeah, then don't do that.
That's like, you ever see those memes?
Which one?
There's like single versus in a relationship memes. They're so funny, dude.
About like,
well, it'll be like Zac Efron, like totally ripped and shredded to the fucking
when you're
bone.
in a relationship,
and it's like single, and then it's like him in a relationship, and he's like all fat, and he's dad botted up. Like, it's like
I'm trying not to get too complacent with that.
I think even like
with my
being
health.
a musician, dude. Like, honestly, I think you almost have to be in shape to be a musician.
Yeah, no, for
especially
sure.
playing rock music. You even see that in like some of our heroes where they'll get out of shape and then they have to like get back in shape to play. And when they start playing again, they actually start to look and feel better. You can kind of tell, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I notice a difference when I exercise, as everyone does. I need to have more of a plan though. Sometimes I'm just like bumbling around the gym, and I'm not someone. I used to play a lot of sports growing up, so I'm not like totally.
Right. What'd you play, dude?
I played basketball, football. I mean, so
you played everything.
I played football and then baseball. I had baseball growing up when I was younger, and then golf was my main sport. That was like what I was best at, I guess, if you will.
So you got to become a famous musician, and then you got to start golfing with Alice Cooper.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's like this huge golf dude.
Isn't that so funny?
It is funny. He's like just the most like white collar, like white person sport I could possibly. Even though Tiger Woods is like the GOAT, obviously, but like what it's like golf is such a like white collar, like rich people. Yeah. That's the bad.
Well, it's just like I mean, obviously his Alice Cooper image is not.
Then that's what I'm saying. You get this Alice Cooper like fucking like snakes.
I mean, it's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick, and then he was just like awesome at golf. You know.
Yeah, and he loves it. I mean, he loves playing golf.
And that's where business.
I don't really play anymore, but.
We played a lot in college, dude, and it was fun. So
yeah, golf's fun.
I'm not gonna knock golf.
I would definitely like to get back into it a bit more, but
and that's something that'll keep you active and healthy too, right?
Yeah. I'm in a men's basketball league, and that's
why you're in shape, dude.
Well, it doesn't feel like it when I'm playing.
Because even
we
like
play full court too, and it's like
no shit.
It's a lot, man.
So I had like uncles growing up that always played basketball as they were getting older, like even into their 40s and stuff, and then they stayed in shape, man.
It's great.
And like
exercise.
Guitarists, we were talking about my old guitarist Shane Spellman, huge basketball player.
Oh, nice.
And like that guy, he stays in shape. Even Ben from the Nick and Ben podcast, he used to play basketball, and that's how. I think that's probably one of the most cardiovascular.
Yeah, man. I got this Fitbit now, which has been fun. And like when I keep it on when I'm playing. I think I got my heart rate up to like 170 or something crazy when I was playing. That's not death, is it?
No, that's I mean, it would get better as you do it more, and your resting heart rate would come down.
So that's bad then.
No, I don't think it's bad. I think that's just you're exerting yourself.
Like, that means you're a lazy piece of shit.
Well, no, I think it would get better with time.
But I was like full on sprinting back and forth, and like this wasn't just like going up a flight of stairs.
Dude, if I tried to sprint right now like that, my heart would probably explode. And
but it was
where's the caffeine? Bro?
And I had to play the full game. We didn't have any subs that game, so that was rough.
Yeah, that's super healthy for you.
Yeah, and but I've been in the gym.
Cardio wise.
The gym's been nice, but I gotta have more of a little bit of a plan. I gotta get in there.
So here's what you do: dominate the gym, dominate this new band, start writing. You know what I mean? Like because make it part of your whatever it is. Make it part of your like regular routine. So like gym, writing, band practice. It's hard to do though.
Yeah, I've just been doing so much. I've also this is a new develop. I've been learning how to fly an airplane.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've been taking flight lessons.
How many flights have you had?
I think I've done 6 or 7, but I'm like at 12. I'm at like 15 hours of flight time.
So you're kind of just starting.
Yeah, just starting.
Dude, that is so exciting. When I first moved here, me and my friend moved here, and we ended up renting this room from a guy, and now I can't remember his fucking name. Damn it. He was a really nice guy, too.
Was he a pilot?
He was a pilot, dude, and like...
Nice.
One of the first times I was here, he like took us up in this little plane. I think it was like it's not a Cessna, it might have been, but dude, he took us up. He took me up, and with his other buddy who was training to be. He was the more senior pilot. The other guy was getting hours under him, I believe, because he worked for Boeing and everything. He also had 2 Teslas, so I got to drive Teslas, which was super fucking dope.
Flying a plane and drive a Tesla.
I know. I'm like, dude, I want to hang out with this guy more. Where is he? I got to remember his name. Yeah. No, but so he took us up in this little plane, and he was such a good pilot. Like when he flew, it was awesome. But he was like letting the other guy fly it, dude. And I remember like he let the other guy land, and it was like
rough.
Fucking scary, dude. Like the other guy lands the plane, and it's like the roughest landing I've ever been in. I was like, damn, did he break the fucking like landing gear? Because it felt like
it. A little hard.
And I loved how the guy that was flying was like, oh, I don't think that was too bad or whatever. And like the other guy that was the more senior guy, the guy that I lived with, he like downplayed it, but I could tell he's like, yeah, I think we're gonna have to get out and check everything. Yeah, you know, he kind of made it sound like and everything was actually fine. I think that's part of.
They say any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. And
right, and it probably wasn't even that bad because in my head it was probably worse because I'd never, when you're beginning.
Well,
to fly
a plane. But it sounded like it was a little bit of a bump when you came.
It was a bumpy ride. It was probably it shouldn't have been quite like that, but. I think the guy was just learning, and I
can't talk too much shit because I just started doing my landings, and I've been all right, but like they haven't all been pretty.
Hey man, so what made you decide that you wanted to try to learn how to fly?
Well, I've always loved airplanes, and actually growing up, that was kind of the first job I wanted was to be a pilot, a fighter pilot specifically.
Damn. Okay.
And that obviously didn't work out, but I've always had a love for airplanes and flying, and I've just kind of like and I took some lessons when I was a kid. I actually, fun fact, I flew an airplane before I drove a car in my life, and my dad had got me a couple lessons when I was, I don't know, like 11 or 12, and that was super awesome. And I did all that like flight simulator. We used to play that all the time when I was a kid, and I just was really into flying. And I kind of like,
and still are now, huh?
And still, yeah. And and my girlfriend got me a flight lesson for my birthday, and it just kind of like reignited my passion. And I was just like, well, I want to learn.
That's
how
pretty
to do
dope
this.
of your girlfriend.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, she knows you well enough that
she hooked me up.
Man, I think that's super exciting.
It's fun, man.
So it makes me think of like. It makes me think of Iron Maiden, dude.
Or I love like how you can always get it back to
music. I'm actually a total music nerd, dude. So like Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden is a pilot, and he like flies the band around, and is the lead singer.
They must. That's an interesting.
Can you imagine doing that? Like trying to like make sure your voice is good, and you're like singing in one of the hardest bands in the world to sing in this operatic style, and then you're like flying the fucking plane, and not just like a small plane, like a fucking full size like.
Yeah, they probably have a jet, right?
Yeah, it's insane, dude.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know he flew.
Yeah, we should. Here, I'll look it up for you. Bruce Dickinson.
I mean, Bruce Dickinson.
What do you think about Iron Maiden?
I don't really know them,
probably not-
man. It's
probably
all
not
that
your
metal
thing.
stuff. I really don't know the metal scene.
Yeah, I'm a huge like. Yeah, here's
He
the
looks-
plane.
Oh wow,
That's what he flies, dude. Isn't that
he
fucking?
flies a 747.
Yeah, it's a 747.
Jesus
There he
Christ.
is. There he is. Look at.
That's so fucking fun, and he's got his outfit on too.
Yeah, I suppose he has to wear the proper.
So this is his. So this is
This is
Iron
when they go on
Maiden's
tour.
flight,
Yeah.
or their plane. I mean,
Yeah, this is their. They actually go
That's
on tour in this. I think he
fucking
flies other
hilarious.
bands too, obviously, but
that's hilarious.
also like one of the greatest lead singers of all time, and flies the fucking plane.
that's so.
That's fucking.
great. That's badass.
That's rock and roll
That's
right there.
yeah. If that's not rock and roll, I don't know what
You know
is.
who else is a pilot? John Travolta.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think he has a 707. I
So
believe.
you could end up being like this crazy lead singer of like a super successful famous band and a pilot,
And a pilot. And, an
and
improviser.
in the best shape of your life in 5 years.
wow. 5
Still
years?
with that great head of hair.
yeah, as long as
Dude,
the hair stays with me.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna be good. Trust me, you'll be back in this podcast in 5 years. Just like, bro, I'm a pilot. The band is like, we're on a national tour, and shit is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to.
Kids
tour,
on the
man.
way.
Yeah, kids on the way. I mean, that's a lot of life happening, and
Right? Could you imagine trying to actually tour with like kids on the way and like?
I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't think I want to tour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seems like not unless you're like unless you're at a level that like
That's gonna pay money.
yeah, like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I thought that too. I feel like and correct me if you have a different opinion, but I feel like when you're younger,
Yeah.
that seems so much more
Mm-hmm.
like you're so hungry for it. Like you would just fucking like do anything
Yeah,
to get
man.
it.
I'm 30 now. I just want to be on the fucking couch.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
wanna
saying.
be
So you
on a
start getting
road.
older, and like even for me, like the realities of playing in a rock band that's kind of how I got to where I am now, where my passion's kind of what moved into fitness more, is because I realized that was like the part of my life that the structure of having like the structure and the discipline every day. That's where I like mentally feel the best. And if you're trying to, and you can do that in a rock band. I'm not saying I couldn't do it, but it sounded a lot less appealing.
Yeah.
And especially like you said, you start getting older. But it's like, then I'm like, man, what if you could like have a great structure, work out? You see these bands like Trivium and like Megadeth go out on the road, and they're like bringing these trainers with them, and they're training jujitsu every day, and then they're playing live
Yeah.
every night, and it's like that does look cool. But then you try to throw a family in the mix of that.
Yeah,
too.
I mean it's hard, dude. Like
tough.
I mean I think being away. I mean I don't have any of kids, but like I would imagine just being away is tough. Like when you're not there,
I think a lot of them almost have to like
you have to have a
bring
partner.
them with, or like a
Yeah.
partner that's really good. I think
Yeah.
as they get older, like what is Dave Mustaine? He's like, I
I
think
mean
he's
they're
like
yeah
a
also
black belt in some shit. Or he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, which is like
who is that?
Dave Mustaine, the lead singer of Megadeth.
Oh
And then I know like the lead singer of Trivium does a lot of like jiu-jitsu too.
yeah, I mean when you got some time and money,
Isn't that crazy? So if you had the money, man, you could like go out on
Yeah.
the road, play music, and just fucking
yeah, the money helps.
dominate. Like you could be like working out with a trainer every day,
Yeah.
like eating the best food. Even WWE guys, when they go on the road, a lot of them, there's like certain companies like Nutrition Solutions or like these meal prep companies where like you just get all your food and you get it like pre-made and you bring it along in a cooler.
Right.
And it takes all the guesswork out, and like, because that's the hard thing about doing it at like the level we
Yeah.
would. It's like
Yeah, you don't have the resources.
you don't have all those resources to
No.
like. So it would. I think it's not that you couldn't do it, but it'd be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't jump up to that level. You got to work your way up. So it's like,
So when was the last time you played a show around here?
oh god,
Was it you? Because last time you guys were here, you just finished that EP and you were gonna start playing some shows again.
yeah, and we did.
And you
play a
did.
few
And was it
shows.
pretty fun?
I think the last show we played was at Factory Lux,
Yep.
And that was like, I want to say March, maybe. March. Yeah, they were fun. I mean, the shows, because we had just got it, because we were out of bass player. Remember last time we were here?
That's right.
And we just started working with our new bass player, JoJo, and it was going super well. And love JoJo. JoJo's great. And like, which has been awesome to get to know him, because he's working with me now, hopefully with this new project.
That's right. You
So-
got the bass player.
Yeah,
the other
so I got
guitar
the
says
ba-
the
he
drummer.
has the
You
drummer.
put those together. and
And if you add those up, it equals rock band. So
Fuck yeah.
one singer plus 2 guitars plus bass plus drummer equals rock
Is anybody
band.
singing backup for you?
Probably JoJo, I think. And I
bass
think
player.
the drummer actually sings, because I saw their show. So the guitar player, Vaughn, he's in a cover band that he invited me to go watch them play, and they were
Right.
awesome. They were kind. He's the drummer. The drummer he's thinking of is the drummer in that band, and he sang some backups, and it was good.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, so I know I need some
But
backing vocals.
so the shows that you played there, were people like coming out again after COVID, or was it like pretty?
I'm trying to remember.
Because I remember for a while their shit was crazy. Like it's so weird how like we're so
Yeah.
far away from COVID now, and it feels like almost normal again, and
Yeah.
you forget like that was the weirdest fucking time ever.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely still remnants of it, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different world. I mean, I think, yeah.
But back
winter was
then,
tough.
were people coming out to shows? Because that was like right after.
Yeah, they were, but not
Slowly.
like nothing major. I was excited for summer, and they just didn't. Yeah, it just didn't happen. And it sucks. I've had to say no to some cool shows.
Right.
Like someone asked us to play a Saturday night at Barboza, and I had to say no to that, and that kind of sucked.
Which is just recently, you mean?
Yeah.
But once you get this new band,
I know, but I couldn't say yes. I mean, I think it was in December, so I don't think we have enough time to.
dude, when you get this new band going, let me know, and I want to come watch you.
Yeah,
guys.
for sure. Well, yeah, I think we'll end up playing shows, because
'Cause
I do miss playing shows, and
I miss music too. Just
Yeah.
like, I mean, obviously, like I still play and stuff here, but even just to be around it would be fun.
yeah,
Or to go support other people. So, or even go watch like an improv show, and we need to get.
you should.
we
I
need
bet
to
you
get
would.
Ben.
I bet you would enjoy watching improv. I just did a show last week. An
Where
improv
at?
show. Excuse me, at Fremont Abbey.
Okay.
In Fremont.
Are you guys living? Where do you live?
I live in West Seattle.
Dude, that's so sick. So like, I feel like there's such a different energy when you get into like the city and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude, because like I'm over here in Bellevue and it's like really, like, kind of safe and white and boring, kind of, you know.
I mean,
Not that there's anything wrong with any of that.
I guess Seattle is pretty.
It can be
not
kind
very-
of sketch though.
Well,
too.
I mean, it's dude everywhere. There's places.
Every
like
city.
that.
But I was gonna say, like, so the other day, me and some of my coworkers went into the city because my other coworker lives over there, Tina, and she took us out to sushi. We went to this I think it was called
Where'd you go?
Umi Saki House.
Yeah.
So this would be like what, near Capitol Hill, I think.
Yeah, Cap Hill can get a little wild.
Right, so it was a little wild over there, but my point was like it was really dope to like go in the city, and I feel like it'd be fun to like go check more shit out. Like we do, where I work at Postdoc, they have comedy nights, and those can be pretty cool because it brings like a different kind of people in, and you kind of get to meet some different people, and sometimes the comedians are like really funny, but I think it'd be super fun to go watch like an improv somewhere. Like I guess my point is I think I need to get out more.
Yeah, we need to get you out in the world there, Nick.
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, we do. You should come to a show, dude. I just did. So the show I did last week was called Swipe Right, and we basically pull a couple people from the audience and we go through their dating profile.
Oh my god.
On stage, and whether it's like Tinder or Hinge or what's the other one, like OkCupid, I guess. I don't know what's the other or
Dude,
Bumble.
That's crazy.
So we go through them and then we do improv off of that.
Okay.
And it's all made up, like which is kind of an interesting. It's very interesting going from like doing improv show and doing a music show, like because the music show it's structured, right? Because you know what songs you're gonna play, like you know how the songs go. You can mess up. Well, that's what's nice about improv. You can't really mess up, which is nice. But there's also a weird element of like we don't know what's gonna happen, and that's a really interesting kind of keeps things exciting. And we had great turns. I mean, we had like over 100 people come out.
And people are really into it, I suppose.
Yeah,
Especially
I
when they're
mean,
getting, like,
not
interactive.
not everybody likes it, but yeah, I mean, I think majority of people walk. I think it's very impressive to people. I think we kind of get a little, what's the word? People a little more forgiving on things, and they should be because it is made up. Like there's not a lot of thought that goes into things that come out of our mouth, but like,
Because it's improv.
yeah, but it creates a really cool energy of like it's very spontaneous, obviously, and the way I can basically sum up what improv experience is like, at least from an audience point of view, is like you are part of an inside joke that everyone in the room is being a part of, and that creates a really cool experience that like you will literally never see the show again. You only really have that experience like at that moment in time, and like if you try to explain that to someone, like they won't really get it. And it's a very much in the moment, had to be there, which is kind of fun. Like, I mean, there's other forms of entertainment and comedy that are great too.
It reminds me kind of like stand-up comedy in a way. Like,
yeah, but like even stand-up is like it's reproduced, right? Like they do it
right.
again and again.
They have
and
their
again.
set and they do it over and over.
Yeah, and like you can kind of like you can't really reproduce improv because there's something
probably
about
more close to the crowd work that comedians do, because that's more like improv on the spot.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It has that feeling more for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that, and that's always super fun, right? People love that because it feels very like, oh my god, this is really happening right now. Like it's kind of creates a sense of excitement.
I know, we need to get Ben to fucking do that.
I know, we'll get him.
I should like call him right now and be like, Ben, we're on the podcast.
You're on the podcast. Everyone's listening. They want.
I know you have this manly job now. You're just
there's a show in 5 minutes.
You're delivering shit like a man, lifting shit, and you're all like,
you're becoming less funny as you get more.
Yeah, you're
ripped.
losing all your comedy skills, bro. Stop. You're turning into a meathead, man.
No, there's room for meatheads in comedy.
I know. True.
We welcome you with open arms.
Right. I say that because like, like pro wrestling. That's like what I was saying about.
Yeah, that's all performance, man.
Like The Rock and Stone Cold. Like some of those guys, like as good as they were in the ring, some of their like best work they ever did was on the mic and was like them being goofy,
totally,
and being funny, and that's like all that is improv too. Like,
are you still doing wrestling?
No, I haven't done wrestling for like.
You're gonna do it again?
2016. I don't know, dude. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I always say I want to, but I'm like so focused on other stuff now.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I think if you've ever done wrestling, dude, there's like always this weird thing in the back of your mind, like I could do it again. It's probably like ego.
What do you mean?
Well, just like
I could just get back.
Like you always want to have this idea in your head, like someday I'm gonna do it again. You know, like, but whether or not that's a realistic thing, I don't know. Right. I suppose it would just be the thing of deciding and taking action. You know.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if it's I mean, I'm sure there's a limit to when you'll be able to do it.
There's definitely a limit. Like I'm getting.
Your body is gonna.
My body could still do it now, but there's maybe a 5-6 year window where I like, but I mean. Guys do it up into their 60s, but they're like you said, it's similar to like rock bands where like they're making a lot of money.
Right. I mean,
and they have like the resources to do it.
Yeah, like because your body cannot.
Yeah, I'm at like basically the end of like the peak of like the athletic years for a male.
I mean, my body can barely sustain the men's league basketball game. So
true.
I can't imagine. And I'm 30. I don't like.
Dude, it'll get better though. You'll realize like by the time you're in your like mid 30s, you'll just
it gets better.
Oh, it gets so much better. I feel like, I think the end of your 20s are the scariest. 28, 29. You start feeling like 30's like this ancient age, and then you hit 30, and then by about like 33, you're like, oh, I'm fucking young.
Yeah.
And then you realize how young you are, and then like the rest of your 30s are like, oh shit, like as long as I keep taking care of myself.
Yeah, I feel like this is a point in people's lives on average, like you decide like I'm going to take care of myself or I'm not.
Right. I even say like, like I watch like Bill Maher a lot. I like Bill Maher. He's like,
I like him
he's getting older. He's like in his 60s, and he keeps talking about how like obviously aging is this thing that he can't get away from. He's turning. I mean, he looks great. The guy's
still. Is he 70?
He's like in his 60s.
Oh, okay. I thought I was like, damn it.
No, he's not 70, dude. Bill Maher's like. Yeah. But I'm saying like.
But yeah,
he talks about how like he knows that he's getting older, and he obviously his body's aging, but his knowledge on how to take care of himself and be healthy has gotten so much better that he almost feels like he's like. Maybe the best he's ever been at. He
feels the best.
Yeah, he knows he doesn't maybe look the best, but he his ability and knowledge on what to like, how many drinks can I have this week, or
Right.
can I push this here? Can I eat this? And he knows how to like do all the things. You know, you get this knowledge with your body on how to
Right.
properly, and we do it naturally. Even like growing up, you know, when you first start drinking, you like make yourself sick, and then you realize like, oh, I can't do that.
Can't do that. Yeah.
You eat something, or like even with you
listen
have
to your
this
body. Yeah.
and you're probably good at it
Totally.
with having your autoimmune disease. Like
Yeah.
you know what you can't eat and how to push it. And like I think that's one thing that comes with age, where like there's nothing you can do to fight age. Obviously, it's gonna happen, but you definitely get better at knowing yourself and knowing your body and everything. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely listening.
you'll be surprised, dude, in 6-7 years at how good you feel.
I don't feel old. I just like I think I've been somewhat fortunate that I've been given good genetics of my like and being able to move and like stay in decent shape, that like, but now it's like I can't rely on that
you can't do it anymore.
You can't rely on just like, oh, I'm young, I'm gonna be fine, like
No.
like whether that's sleeping or moving my body, like even just moving my freaking body, like
Right, you're at that age where people realize, especially if they did have good genetics, that shit is not going to work
help you anymore. Yeah, like and it's more the habits and like your routines and stuff. And like I've always I can always take care of myself a bit better.
And it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. That's like a huge thing that happens when you get older. Mm-hmm. So like you have to keep, in order for your body to even get the signal that it needs to keep the ability to do what you want it to do, you have to make it.
Right.
So like if you're not giving it this signal, like I need you to run down this basketball court and shoot this, and I need you to, it's going to like, if you just give it the signal of like sitting on the couch or a sedentary job, it's going to be like, I guess I can let go of this. I don't need this, you know.
I'm also lucky with work. I move a bit, so that's cool. I'm not always sitting.
That is good.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that too. Like, I would love to get like some kind of, like, so usually when I do these podcasts, I'll like do this podcast, and then the way I have it set up now is it's right now we're live, we're on the internet, so like it's out there right now. But then like the next morning I get up and I like have to like clip out clips of it because I want to try to get clips on the internet of it. Like, but I'm like, man, imagine if I had a walking treadmill with like a standing desk, and I could like do my cardio in the morning
you could do that.
while I'm like clipping my fucking, you know, I'm like,
you can't run and do that.
you can't run, but I could definitely walk at a brisk
walk.
pace on an incline. And like, you know, when you do steady state cardio like that, you're actually burning a lot more fat with like longer, longer low intensity cardio. I mean, high intensity burns a lot of fat too, but it's like, it's different. You can do like long, low intensity cardio, and it gets right into burning fat for whatever.
And you could probably I would imagine like you could do it for a longer period of time.
Yeah, so you could
like
walk for a couple hours while you're editing shit, and you'd burn a lot.
But you're
of
only
calories.
going to be able to do sprints for like half hour.
Right, and that's all you need.
And you're going to burn stuff, but it's not going to be like, it's better to have the longevity. Is that?
Well, there's like just a different. It's how your body uses energy systems, and I was actually just studying it because I'm about to take my test. So I should actually know how to explain it better, but low intensity cardio over a long period of time is actually better for fat burning. But high intensity is also good too. So it's not, you can't really say one's
better for your heart.
It's better for your heart, cardio, and it gets
high intensity.
High intensity is like a whole different energy system that it taps into.
I mean, because cardiovascular, that's your.
Right, and high intensity is really good for afterburn. Like it like keeps burning fat for like however long after.
Even if you're not moving.
Even after you stop doing it, there's like a long But steady state cardio is really good for fat burning too. So I feel like having just having a fucking treadmill, and then like whatever work you need to do, because you know they already have standing desks, and they have.
I mean, I've seen that. I feel like I've seen that.
I think I've seen the situation with the desk.
Definitely seen that on TikTok.
It's not. This is not something I've made up. This is definitely something I've seen.
I thought you were like coming up with like. There's this invention I have.
No.
It's okay.
No, I just think
you make millions.
Oh no, I think it would be awesome to have one. I think that many people have already done it. Yeah.
Hell yeah! No, I was gonna say I wish we were closer. I'd work out with you.
Dude, we could do that. Where do you work out? Yeah, you're in Seattle.
It's so fucking far. I mean, maybe once in a while we could do something.
We could do that. And I'm actually going to be a trainer, so I could probably help you get something planned.
Even that would be helpful.
Right. So like, and it wouldn't even have to be anything crazy, just like what you actually already kind of want to do.
I just need like,
but just the structure.
Yeah, I need some structure.
And then you just have it, and then even if you don't do it like perfectly every week, but at least you know what the structure is, and then you can get into it.
I don't necessarily always go into the gym with a plan, and that's not good.
Yeah, you got to get the plan, and then you just got to like basically just follow the plan without. That's kind of the thing about like lifting is like they say it's like, so there's motivation, but motivation's bullshit. So that's where you need discipline, and discipline is just like executing a plan without thinking about it. So if you don't have the plan, you really can't do that. It's hard,
yeah.
So
my
like,
motivation is I get to do the sauna at the end.
Oh my God, I fucking love sauna, dude.
I fucking love saunas, dude.
I miss having a sauna. I don't, the gyms I go to right now, they don't have one.
Oh, that was a necessity when I joined the gym. If it didn't
right, and so like I used to go to LA Fitness, but I don't want to because I'm going to Body Shop, which I love, and I go to Eastside Gym, which I love, and neither of them have a sauna. But eventually, I want to get back into a sauna because it's like I know the health benefits are crazy. And then the other thing I want to do is start doing like that ice bath shit.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I haven't gotten to that yet either. But I mean, all you need for that is just like put a cow tank in your backyard and fill it with ice.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to figure out, because I know there's...
Do you do cold showers? Because that might be a good first
I do cold showers. Right now what I do is like, I shower, and then I like put my conditioner in my hair, and then I turn the shower really cold, and I just like stand in front of it, and I'm like... Because I put it like as cold as it'll go, and it takes a while, and it makes you like breathe really hard, and then I turn around and let it hit my back.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and like in the front again, and I'm like... And then I turn it back up to the hot, and it like slowly comes back to warm. Then it almost gets too hot, and then I turn it back a little colder. Then I rinse the conditioner out of my hair, and then I get out and dry off. That's like my routine right now. Nice. So I don't know, because it's like you got to leave the conditioner in for a little bit. So I'm like, oh, I got to do something. Might as well get a quick little cold shower. You know,
you feel great after it though.
I think there's a lot of health benefits too.
Yeah, for sure.
And I keep forgetting them. But when I had this dude,
I think it's like a blood flow thing, isn't it?
There's a lot of shit. We could look it up. I had this dude Mark Sandayan in here, who's a trainer, and I'm like, what are the health benefits of ice bath? And he rattled them off. Like, I'm like, shit. If I'm gonna be a trainer, I need to like.
You didn't take any notes, Nick?
Oh my God, I need to get better with like having some of this stuff at my fingertips, because he knew the health benefits of. Let's see, health benefits.
Yeah, my guess it's the blood flow. I've done some cold showers, and you feel great after.
Oh my God, it like exhilarates you, man. Okay, it says ice bath benefits: eases sore muscles, reduces your core body temperature, may help you focus, may help you sleep better. These are kind of vague. We need something more meaty than that. But no, like it definitely, I know that like sleeping for sure, because that's why they sell all these like temperature controlled blanket things now, is like to lower your.
Oh, I need to have it cold. Yeah.
Right. So you know how that is. Like when you want to sleep, you need to be cold. So like I have an AC in my room, and I put it on, and it's amazing. But there's actually science behind that where
you gotta lower your.
You have to lower your body core temperature in order to get proper sleep.
I remember reading something about like taking hot showers before going to bed, but like I feel like I've done, and that wakes me up more, because it's supposed to like your body compensates by like lowering your body temperature or something.
Oh, so like there's probably benefits to both, honestly, because there's usually pluses and minuses to everything.
Right. But I need to have it cold in the room. Like if it's hot, I can't sleep.
But now, does your girlfriend like it warmer? Because usually that's the thing.
No, she doesn't mind, but she does. It's more the noise. I usually put a fan on, and she's had to get used to having a fan.
I love fan noise, dude.
She's had to get used to that. That's been her compromise with the sleep.
Even my AC, when I don't put the AC on, I put the fan. It has a fan, too.
Yeah, I like the white noise.
You gotta have the white noise, dude. I don't know how you can even sleep without it.
But I also do not sleep well, so that's another... I'm trying to get better. I gotta figure that out.
Is there a reason, do you know? I bet working out would help it.
I'm sure that's part of it.
And ice baths can help muscle recovery. They can prevent muscle soreness. They can help cool your body down, boost mental health.
You fall asleep in the
improve your sleep, reduce risk of injury.
No shit, you're just killing yourself slowly. So you just
slowly
fall asleep.
Well,
Nice.
if you're like too cold, that's how you die. They
I-
said that's like the best way to die, though. If you have to,
Is it? If I had to choose,
if you had to choose like a way to die, it's like freezing
not
to
in your
death
sleep,
because you just kind of slip into it.
right? Just
It's
like
very,
kind of
like-
nod out.
Shit,
yeah,
what was
so-
I just gonna look up?
Sleeping stuff or ice bath. Well, I was gonna say to answer your question about why I don't sleep well. I think
Oh, that's what it
I
was.
usually I like to stay up late as part of it. So I have to if I stay up late, I don't think I do well with that. I also get up a lot. And
Yeah.
I wake up a lot in the night.
Oh, I was gonna tell you there is this app. I do like it. It's called Sleep Cycle,
Oh yeah.
and you do have to have like so if you and your girlfriend are together, like it. I don't know how it does with two people, but so what it does is like you hit start and it records you at night, and it like tracks like how many hours you sleep. It records like how if you've been snoring.
How does it know?
I think from the noise. I think it can just tell like if you're sleeping.
Interesting. Well, the Fitbit reads my sleep, but it's like
So that's probably similar. So like it seems pretty accurate because like last night I put it on late because I did sleep before it, but then I put it on later.
Mm-hmm.
Some nights I put it on the whole night and it tracks it really good, and I've gotten really good sleep. Like it gives you like a quality like 64%.
yeah, that's kind of like the Fitbit. Too.
Okay, so it's similar.
It's similar, but it's like that's.
But like so I woke up around here and I never got back to sleep, and you can kind of even see it in the
Yeah,
like
that's cool. Maybe I should try it because like part of me is like, how the fuck does it know? But like
I don't know either. I feel like
that one feels weird because at least this is like on my wrist, so it's like
right. So this one,
measures
all
it.
it does is record your noise. So if it seems like, I guess if it hears you like breathing in a certain pattern, it knows you're asleep.
It's just
I don't know.
It's just sitting there listening.
Maybe
to you
it's a bunch of
breathing.
bullshit,
Sounds
and
like
I just
sounds
totally.
like a friggin' creep.
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit that I just bought for
Maybe
fucking.
there's probably just someone on the other end that's just like listening, like, oh yeah, that's a good sound. That means you're asleep.
There's probably someone listening.
Yeah, I
And
mean
just
they're
like-
always listening. I mean this. I feel like I think it measures your heart rate.
Yeah.
Because when you get into a deeper sleep. But, dude, there's some nights it's like you only got 10 minutes of REM sleep. I'm like, that's not good.
Now, do you smoke weed before you go to bed? Because you
I
know that's
smoke.
really bad for REM sleep
Oh,
and like
there
deep
you,
sleep.
that might be there. Well,
So-
how close to bed are we
So
talking?
both alcohol and weed like stop you from getting that good quality like deep sleep.
Yeah, that
Where
could be
that
the
REM
problem.
sleep. And so what happens with people when they smoke weed too? Like if you smoke regularly before you go to bed,
Yeah.
and then you stop smoking and take a break, all of a sudden people will have these crazy dreams where they'll like have these almost hallucinogenic dreams because what happens is like your body needs a certain amount of REM sleep and it can't get it when you're smoking weed every night. So then if you take that away, it tries to catch up on the REM sleep it didn't get. So it's not like it just goes.
interesting.
So I guess like what happens with REM sleep is your body, like if it's not getting it, it doesn't just like the next night go back to like, okay, the same amount. It tries to like make up for all the lost REM sleep it didn't get. So that's why people, when they like quit smoking weed cold turkey, will have these crazy hallucinogenic dreams.
Interesting.
You should look that up.
Yeah, that could be it.
No, for real. So I don't know the proper way to smoke because I mean a lot of guys smoke weed and it's
Yeah.
I'm all pro, smoking weed or
Yeah.
I mean pretty much anything you want to do. But I do know that alcohol and weed both stop that deep
I have
good
heard
sleep.
about the REM. Well,
But I don't know if there's a position where you can like stop during the day.
Right. But it's just like I don't really smoke. I mean, unless maybe I need a. I
Next
smoke
time
too
you
much
come
weed.
on this podcast, let's smoke weed. I'll smoke with you.
Okay, I'll do
'Cause,
that.
like, why not?
I like getting high.
Yeah, dude, I would love
Do
to.
you smoke?
I don't, but that's
Oh,
what I'm
God,
saying.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Let's fucking do
Yeah,
it.
I had a thought about that on the way. I was just like, I wonder if Nick would do this high. But
I will smoke with you sometime.
okay, that
Yeah.
sounds cool. That's I've been smoking too much weed. That's probably the
Well,
worst habit I've gotten out of the pandemic.
There's goods about it too, though.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's like,
For art,
yeah, no, there's some creative elements, and I think you can find compassion, and you can find like it's very different than alcohol. Like alcohol, I feel like
alcohol's rough for me because I don't like to
Yeah.
judge anybody. I have that bottle. I keep showing people, oh, this is my bottle of Metallica whiskey, and it is dope. Check it out, dude.
it's Metallica,
Yeah, that's Metallica whiskey.
like the band.
The band Metallica paired with this guy
Black.
who ended up dying, but they still make the whiskey. So the guy that first made it,
a
was looking
blend
up-
of straight whiskey.
But what they do is-
Cask.
yeah. So like Metallica, Blackened.
A bold
American.
collaboration of the finest.
Yeah, dude, listen to
hand-selected
that. Oh,
whiskeys.
doesn't that sound
An
sexy?
unrivaled composition of craft and creativity. Born in cask, forged by sound.
Oh my god, dude, that sounds so sexy. No
Forged-
wonder I bought it.
Forged by sound.
So what they do is
They just play Metallica
they
music.
play
and-
Metallica music
No,
too
they
and blast
don't.
it with it.
No,
So
they
this
don't.
bottle,
Do they really? That'd be amazing.
this bottle is batch.
Oh, I see the waveform is right there.
Oh shit! I got to put my fucking birthday in so that it's like, how do you know I'm not a kid that's just making this up?
That's what's wrong with America right there.
Right. So as to enter this website, Blackened American Whiskey, I got to put my
You gotta put your
age
fake
in, but I could
birthday
be a
in.
fucking kid just making this shit up.
Yeah, but
dude.
they'll be like, hey, he put in his birthday.
You know the worst part about getting older, dude, is like when you go
You have
to
to scroll
find your
along.
age. I remember when I was
Yeah,
young, you just scroll a few down and there's
Yeah.
your age. Now I'm like,
This is taking a
this
little
is
bit long.
taking way too fucking long.
That's funny.
Okay, here we go. Blackened American Whiskey, and this is
They
batch.
don't play fucking Metallica
Well,
music. That's crazy.
So here's the thing, dude. That's the
That's
gimmick.
So funny.
That's the gimmick. They tell you
Mm-hmm.
that they blast it with this Metallica playlist, and then, like, so mine's batch 125. So let me see, fucking Metallica whiskey batch.
So I'll tell you what song they play.
125. Yeah, because it gives you a playlist.
It's so freaking funny.
Let's see.
Would you be sad if you found out they didn't actually do
Well,
that?
that's what I'm saying. So, like, it's the gimmick is, dude, you know what I think about it? I don't want to know if it's true or not. I want to believe it's true.
If it's not true, I would be furious and I would want my money back. Because,
Well, you know, why wouldn't they actually play it? Like, if it's just a part of the
it
process.
doesn't seem like a huge cost. I don't know. They have to.
Yeah,
pay
it wouldn't be that
royalties,
big of a cost.
I don't know. How much is Metallica charging for these songs?
Like, for their songs?
Yeah, I guess they're partnered, right?
Yeah, they're partnered with whatever.
is
God,
great.
this is so stupid. Why doesn't it let me select batch number? What? Like, there's no fucking. I can't scroll down or what? Oh, here we go. No, what? It only lets me go to 89? Bro, I'm 125.
They haven't updated it.
What is wrong with this website, Metallica? Oh, here we go. I guess it's just my computer is stupid. No. God damn it.
You're losing them, Nick. You're losing them.
We're losing the podcast listeners? Yeah. Okay, here's my playlist, dude. So
here we
this whiskey got played Hero of the Day, Am I Savage, I Disappear, Enter Sandman,
nice.
Fuel, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Seek and Destroy, and finish with Whiskey in the Jar. So it's like, dude, I don't know. If it's a gimmick, I don't want to know
think
that
it's-
it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, that seems
It's like
pretty
Santa
low
Claus,
end.
dude. I want to believe
Yeah,
that my Metallica whiskey got blasted with fucking my Metallica playlist
That's
with
so
some of my
funny.
favorite Metallica songs like Hero of the Day and I Disappear and Whiskey in the Jar. I love that shit. So, like, actually, I like the playlist I got because I'm like, oh, those are some of my favorite.
You would listen to that.
I would, especially Hero of the Day. I love that song, underrated, but it didn't have my favorite Metallica song, which is The Outlaw Torn or Fixer. Those are probably my two favorite Metallica songs. But anyway, I still think it's a cool gimmick.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
it's
good.
like Santa Claus, dude. I want to believe.
Hey, that's the fun. That's the joy of it.
That's the
you get
joy.
the fun of it. You know.
But the whole point of that rant is like, yeah, I'm going to try this, and it's probably delicious, and I really like whiskey, and I think drinking is like, we were talking about this yesterday, like, I listened to this Andrew Huberman podcast about drinking, and it's like, you listen to the science behind it, and it is just not good.
Yeah, it's
This is not good for you. But as long as you know that, and then you still decide to do it. So it's kind of like anything. You can do it in moderation if you like.
yeah.
You basically have to know, like, I'm going to be putting poison in my body that's going to hurt my body. It's going to take a lot of my body to recover and heal.
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to be injuring my body. But, you know, even like working out is like that. You're going to damage your body a little bit and then let it recover.
Right.
I mean, this is there's not really a lot of that's a big stretch.
Listen,
There's not a lot of
kids,
positives to alcohol.
All the kids out there, drinking alcohol and working out are not the same.
They're not the same. No.
But I hear what you're saying.
Not really a lot of health benefits to drinking.
Well, it's funny because like when I was younger, I could drink shit like that, and like and it would be like, but like literally, like if I drank whiskey, I would feel like I'm killing myself.
Really?
Like it feels.
So what
like
do you
say
drink now?
poison.
You're more into
I don't
weed.
really drink, yeah.
I think
I don't
weed is a
drink.
lot healthier for you.
It's hard though because you're still smoking something. You know what I
So
mean?
it's still probably hard on your lungs. It
Yeah.
still does that thing where, like I said, it definitely
the sleep is a
it
problem.
stops you from getting deep REM sleep. And
I gotta
like the
look
good-
to see what the cutoff is.
You got to
'cause
look into that, dude, because there's probably a way to do it.
Yeah, that's definitely what's going on. Because I pretty much smoke every day. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are like, well, I drank and I passed out and I got great.
Well,
You didn't get good sleep.
Yeah, no.
Well, I smoked weed and I felt no, you didn't get good sleep.
Is
You
it the
just think-
is it the THC that's
I don't
doing
know.
it?
Should we look it up?
Because I feel like CBD might like not do that to you.
Yeah, I feel like CBD might actually. There's so many benefits.
I mean, I
there.
would get it because the THC is like the hallucinogenic element, so like that's gonna fuck with your REM, which is kind of I would imagine is connected to that. I look at me, I'm like I'm not a fucking scientist.
Dude, you're a fucking scientist, dude.
I've watched a couple of YouTube videos.
Okay, so one study found high doses of THC at night can
Yeah,
lead to
THC.
unwanted side effects the following day, such as impaired memory and sleepiness. That doesn't tell us what. Oh, some sleep-related side effects. So cannabis withdrawal can also produce sleep-related side effects such as strange dreams.
That's what you were talking
That's
about.
what I was talking. So that's
Yeah.
when you like go off the weed, you'll have these crazy ass dreams because your body's trying to catch
Right.
up on the REM.
Yeah.
Can't sleep. Try putting down the marijuana. Seriously, that's what this article says.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, maybe what I'm maybe.
So this
I
is
gotta do that.
drugabuse.com.
Well, that's
Um,
interesting.
it says
Okay.
marijuana helps you. It says for as long as she could remember, people told Sue that marijuana helped you sleep. She once stated having problems catching Z's, so she decided to give weed a try. She smoked pot every night for nearly 3 months, but for some reason the insomnia wasn't getting better. In fact, worse than before. What's going on? Turns out it's not a sleep aid.
Yeah.
So here's an article you could read.
Damn. Well, yeah.
So
I just
daily
gotta put it
marijuana
down.
use has the opposite effect. It actually increases insomnia.
Yeah, I feel that.
Huh.
Fuck.
But so we need to. What you need to find is
I need to just find the balance.
when's
with that.
the time I can smoke
cutoff.
weed to, and I'll still like get some decent REM sleep.
Yeah, because it's like my wind down thing, and that's not good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a healthy wind down because like I've definitely smoked weed, and it's like can be super
Oh, I
enjoyable.
fucking love smoking weed, dude.
Or like I remember we took some edibles. That's like speaking of my drummer. I remember one time we were just like chilling. And like took these edibles. We were watching, I think, South Park or something. And like, if you're watching an adult cartoon and you take an edible, like there
That's
is
fun.
nothing more fun, dude.
Yeah, that's fun.
It is so fun
That's
if
a
you're like
fun
with
day.
comfortable people that you like, and you're
Totally.
like, in a chill place. You got to be careful not to eat if you are trying to be healthy, because like when you do that, you're gonna want to eat.
Oh yeah, the munchies are a real thing, and that's the other. Sugar is my other problem.
I love sugar.
Yeah, that's
What's
my
your
problem.
What's your fave? What do you like?
I mean, like honestly, that's like a lot is sauces.
Sauces.
Yeah, I mean, I love sweets, obviously, but
But on what? What do you put the sauces
just
on?
like anything, man. Like a barbecue sauce, a Thousand Island sauce. Like I just like drench things in sauce.
And the sugar industry has itself
Oh my god,
so
it's
ingrained
in
in all
sauces.
those.
Yeah.
Like I have to buy ketchup with no sugar added. It's like ketchup is a sauce made out of a fruit that is basically
It's
It's a
sugar.
tomato. It is sugar. Why are you adding
Yeah.
sugar to my sugar? And why do I have to buy
And
sugar-free
high
sugar?
high fructose corn syrup. Like it's
Yeah,
not
that
even
shit's so
sugar.
bad,
it's
man.
just like such. I mean, yeah, sauces get me, but like I love me a good gummy or like
Yeah.
any sort of can.
Yeah, next time you
candy.
come on, we'll either take a gummy or we'll smoke a little bit, dude, and then we'll have the pot.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll
let's
even
do
get the infamous Ben to come back. Or
I probably wouldn't do an edible only because
We'll smoke.
just because the edible lasts longer and I gotta drive. So,
right, but that's a good point. We
but
could do that.
I would smoke and I could.
And then by the
after a
time
few
the
hours,
podcast
yeah.
was over, because we
Yeah,
could
yeah.
go like 3 hours.
Yeah,
We could
yeah,
go 2 or 3
I would be
hours.
fine with that. But I just the edible is just like can be like a 6 to 8 hour deal.
Yeah.
That it would be a lot.
That's right. I forgot about that. Like, don't do an edible unless you're home in the comfort of
Yeah,
your
or you
home.
just have it's more just for driving.
DD.
Like I'm not gonna freak out. I just wouldn't. Especially driving over here. I
wouldn't do
don't drive and.
You don't drive and smoke.
No,
we don't
my
do that,
girlfriend
kids.
drives me. She drives me. She's good about that.
That's
She'll
cool.
drive. Yeah, she's
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, I like smoking weed. It happens. Yeah.
I think it's fun, dude.
It is fun. There will be a time I'm gonna, because especially when I start wanting to have kids, I gotta quit. So
Right.
at least temporarily,
Is that something that it
it can affect your
ability?
as well as like you can get some.
But it's something where you
funky-
can quit and then you're fine.
Yeah, they said like from what I was reading, it's like 3 months. So like when you were planning on getting pregnant.
So you're planning on having kids, you
you
stop
like stop
smoking.
3 months because also it can damage your DNA, right?
Okay.
Because the carcinogens and all that shit. So it's like you can end up with some, not good stuff. So I think you're just less fertile.
Right.
I think they call them slow sperm or something. They're basically just high. The sperms are just high, so they don't know. They're like, ugh.
They're like, bro, what are we doing again, bro?
Yeah, so
like,
they just got stoned sperm.
aren't we supposed to do something? Oh, like there's
Classic.
that egg, bro.
Yeah.
Aren't we supposed to like try to fuck that egg or something?
Dude, that was 2 weeks
Bro,
ago.
no, I'm gonna fuck the egg. No, bro, I'm gonna fuck the egg.
That
No,
was
I'm
2
gonna
weeks.
win. No, I'm gonna. Actually, I'm too high. Fuck it.
Yeah, so
then
stone
nothing
sperm.
happens.
Then
They're
nothing
just like-
happens. So, yeah. So I think there'll be a time, but I'll have to tone down. I had a buddy who just turned 32, and he decided he was like a stoner friend of mine.
Yeah.
And we used to get high a lot together. And he decided he's like, I'm not gonna smoke this year. For the next year, I'm just gonna do it. Like, and it's a bummer, but I'm also, good for him. He's just like, I just don't want to be feel like dependent on this. Like I want to feel like I'm like, that's fair.
I think everybody that does stuff like that where they'll take a break.
Yeah.
It seems like even like
he'll be back.
like we were talking
He'll
about
be back.
right. They always come back. Well, even
They
like
always
we're
come back.
talking about
Yeah.
enjoying Bill Maher's show, and he's known for
He's a
being
stoner,
a
yeah.
notorious pothead, but he takes like breaks where he'll take months off at a time.
Yeah, I think I remember him talking about it. Like he finds it a better experience.
Right,
your
because why
tolerance
wouldn't
and
you?
stuff.
It's like you have to be able to like keep yourself in check and be able to, because he does stuff like that too, where he does like fasting and he's an interesting dude.
yeah,
I like
he's
that
an
guy.
interesting guy. I should probably. That's probably one thing in my life that I would say smoking weed and sugar are my two like.
Dude, sugar is so
Bad
hard,
things.
and so like
Sugar is probably worse for me.
I usually never have trouble with sugar, honestly, because my things that I like, if I want to have something like, it's more like a burger and fries.
Right, like something. Yeah.
But recently I went on this cut and I got like really lean, where I started having abs and everything, and I did notice that when I was like at the leanest I was, which was like a few weeks ago, I started watching like crumble cookie shit on Instagram and like watching this her name is Honeysuckle, I think it's like its cooking channel on Instagram, and like watching them bake all these sweet like, and so like I got so into sweets all of a sudden. I'm like, what is going on? That's never been me, but like,
Interesting.
because your body's so depleted on sugar, like
Yeah, well,
all of a
like
sudden
that.
like cookies and cake and all this shit started looking super sexy,
Yeah.
and I started watching like Instagram videos like it was porn, like food porn.
Real
dude.
food porn, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But sweets are good. They're delicious,
So
dude.
fucking good.
Like you watch this honeysuckle lady mix up this fucking like classic chocolate chip cookie, and she puts like sea salt on the top.
yeah.
Just fucking, it's just like,
Easy.
damn.
Yeah, that looks good. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's good shit. Or like, I still do want to try some crumble cookies though.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I had this.
You ever had 'em?
A crumble cookie? What's the difference between?
I don't know. It's like a big fucking chain that everybody's like.
Oh, it's like
okay.
I see. It's
Yeah,
not
crumble
Like
cookies. Like
nah, you
it-
probably can't eat it because it's got dairy and gluten.
you couldn't eat it. No,
Yeah.
fuck no. You know what's really good? We had this something in JoJo's ice cream.
Oh, Frankie and Joe's.
Frankie and Joe's,
Dude,
dude.
that's
That's
my
dairy free,
shit,
everything
yeah.
free. Literally, so we went. I had this big cheat day, and this is probably where my problem started. Where I was, like I probably shouldn't have done that. But I went and got sushi with my friends. Like I said, we went to the Umisaki house, and she took us to Frankie and Joe's. Frankie and Joe's.
Uh-huh.
It was the best ice cream I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's fucking delicious.
And the
dude.
cone.
Yeah, the cone's lit. Well, they make it in house, so it's
I'm like-
like they bake it there. That's why it smells.
Right,
great
so like
there.
everybody else got a little cup of it, and I'm like, you guys all
cone's the way,
fucked up.
Yeah, cone's the way to go.
If you didn't get this cone, you shouldn't have gotten anything, because the cone was like what made it so good.
As a person that has allergies, can't eat dairy and gluten, Frankie and Joe's gives me hope for the future. It really does. It's like it is like you said. It is.
Well, the
some of
weird thing
best
was like
ice
I didn't
cream.
know that it was like gluten free
Yeah,
and
you would
dairy
have,
free.
you would have no idea.
because it was literally The best
It
ice
was-
cream
it's
I've
amazing.
ever had in my
It's-
life.
I would say the only like, and it's not. I don't think it's a negative, but someone could see it as is like their flavors are not traditional. Like
Right.
like they have some funky flavors. So if you're like, you just like,
I
I
had
just
the
want
cookie
chocolate
dough
chip.
one.
Yeah, but it's like tahini.
It's a weird cookie
but it's
dough,
like
yeah.
tahini, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
Cookie dough,
that's
which is
true.
it's good, but it's like kind of like if you just want like straight up
Cookie
chocolate
dough, it's
chip or
not.
something.
They did have a mint brownie one that I
Oh,
should have
nice.
tried because like mint chips.
Did
are my
you try
favorite.
the salty caramel ash?
Is that a ice cream?
Yeah, it's fucking delicious.
So next time I go, that's
it's
what I
the
should
one
get.
it's like charcoal. Or sorry, it's like charcoal. I think it's charcoal, so it's like gray, but it's like
Well-
salty and it's fucking delicious.
I'm kind of a long ways away from a cheat day right now because I have a lot of goals coming up. But next time I do,
Dude, yeah, Frank and Joe's.
I'm gonna try that because that sounds really good.
That is my favorite dessert spot in Seattle.
It's just so good, man. Yeah, and especially if you do need something that's like dairy. And
Oh my god,
gluten-free.
yeah, it makes me so happy. You don't, like someone that doesn't, if you don't have allergies, like, because you have to like when you're out eating, like it's constantly you have to think about like what can I eat?
I bet that's actually worse than you even. Like, you probably don't know how bad. I mean, not that it's like the biggest problem in the world. Obviously, there's.
No,
Yeah, I shouldn't make it sound like it's like.
No, it's.
Yeah, but I'm
it's a
saying
thing
like it probably sucks.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's not. Well, I think it's just something like again, people take for granted like their ability to just kind of choose what they want, and like,
Right.
and then the world has changed a lot. It used to be like when I was a kid, like there was no options. Like you were pretty much screwed. You had to make all your food yourself. It was really hard to eat out. Like you ask someone, like, "Oh, does this have?" That they would be like, "I don't know," and they just. But now it's like the world has been more like accommodating, which has been really nice. And like,
Yeah, and I'd say like, especially in this city here, where there's
Yeah,
like so
totally.
many like different kinds of people with different ideologies on eating and food
Yeah.
and vegan options and like.
totally, yeah.
It probably is a good spot to live. To
Yeah,
get
for sure.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely worse places to be for sure with that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of good food that, and it's just something, and it's not a huge problem. It's just something that like
It sucks.
it sucks. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not. If I had a choice, it wouldn't be that way. But it is. I do try to look at it as like, okay, well, it does. I do eat healthier in some sense.
In some sense, it
I do-
probably
I
actually
do.
makes you have to be a little more aware of food, and maybe does make you a little more
I
healthy.
think so because I would have probably choose the pizza or like the thing,
The stuff you
or
shouldn't be eating.
or the mac and cheese or like the shitty food that like is processed because there's a lot of like processed stuff.
Well,
like
processed stuff in general is what's so bad for us.
yeah, and there's a lot of like alternatives that are like my girlfriend's vegan and like so she's buying the Impossible meat and like things like that and I'm like and I'm like it's good but I'm like this isn't like good for
I don't
us.
know how good that is for the environment or you, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's good for either.
Because the idea of being vegan is like you're trying to actually help the environment,
I think
and I don't.
it's better for the environment, but I don't. It's definitely not healthier. It's not like a healthier option for you, though. It's
Yeah,
just a bunch of
maybe.
oil. That's all. It's like it's just oil.
They put so much weird stuff in it, like oil, like seed oils and stuff. That's
Yeah.
really bad for you.
yeah, totally.
So like, I was just listening to I can't remember the dude's name talking about food, and like he said that was the biggest problem with a lot of like the vegan options. Like
it's just
not the
oil.
vegan lifestyle, but like because if you eat actual real
like fruits and vegetables.
vegetables and shit, it's really good for
Yeah,
you.
right.
But it was more like the seed oils and these weird oils that like decay faster. Like so, like olive oil was his go-to of like an oil that's great, especially extra virgin olive oil, especially in a glass bottle that's dark, because there's something about it being in the plastic that it degrades faster. But like I guess like grapeseed oil and all these other ones, they degrade so fast and they become like this like toxic thing. I can't remember, but so like these oils that they kind of market as healthy, or like a lot of them are really bad for us.
Yeah, I mean all the like replacement stuff.
So
is-
good ones were like extra virgin olive oil,
Yeah.
avocado oil. Those were like the healthy ones according to this one thing I
Okay.
listened to. So don't take my word for
I
it.
usually cook with olive oil.
Olive oil is the shit, dude. You can even just put a little bit of it on like chicken and rice. It's so good.
Yeah, olive oil is the shit.
You can have like chicken and rice, right?
Yeah.
So basic stuff. So like if you were gonna try to get like into like a healthy gym routine, like you could basically eat most of the
Yeah.
healthy type of
I
shit.
know. I want to find a balance of like, because I do enjoy food.
And you should.
that like I don't want to be just eating chicken and rice.
No, you're not gonna try. Like that's what I do. You're not trying to get to
Yeah.
that. But there's a healthy balance of like working out and like
I just want to feel better.
like my friend
That's
Tina,
all.
who she's probably the best case of like someone who's super fit but like doesn't really, you know, like she just eats really healthy, really good shit. Like if you saw the
Yeah.
stuff she eats, you'd be like, I want that.
Yeah, it's like.
But she's
tasty,
not doing
healthy.
like what I'm doing with like the very structured,
Well, yeah. I mean, you have very specific
different goals.
that are-
Yeah. But I'm saying like people can do both. You know, like
right. You're gonna have.
you
good
don't have to
tasting
take it to
food.
this level, but you can be pretty healthy.
Well, it sounds like just even like you were saying, like it's just getting rid of the processed shit.
It's mostly the processed shit,
Yeah.
and then you can replace the stuff. I think you can replace most of the processed stuff that you want with something that's like more unprocessed that's similar.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You could if you just. I try to make things like you just cook it. You know, make it yourself.
yeah, I'm kind of trying to think like I just flashed through my head like, well, what if I want a fucking Pop Tart? I guess like you would make
Make a
a
fucking Pop Tart.
you can
I mean,
make
can
yourself
one.
a healthy whole Pop Tart. Yeah, I don't know how, but
That's you don't want to do that though.
No,
Just eat the fucking.
just
Pop-Tart.
eat a Pop Tart once in a while. It'll be fine.
You-
Kind of like alcohol. You know it's going to
Yeah.
be poison for your body, but do it like sporadically and don't do
Yeah,
it
you
too
gotta
often.
you gotta enjoy life a little bit, but it's balance, man. It's all about balance. This
I
stuff.
think you're right, man.
It's
Eat
hard,
some,
though.
Eat some Frankie and Joe's once in a while.
Oof, I
So
don't
what if you're trying to say like so you can't have pizza and stuff like that? Is there any like super good like pizza that you have had around here that's like a different alternative, but it's like
I mean,
like-
there's definitely like I mean, they have vegan cheese.
like is there some
gluten-free.
amazing dairy gluten-free pizza that you've
That's
had
a,
or something?
like that's a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, I really it was super fucking overpriced, but I really enjoyed Rocco's Pizza.
Yeah.
And in Belltown.
Okay.
Off Second.
And they had those kind of options?
Yeah, so they had gluten free and a dairy free cheese, and I think I got like pepperoni on it, and it was really good, but like it was fucking expensive, dude. Like
Well,
me and my
yeah.
girlfriend, we went out to eat there, and we each got a pizza, but like a small, like a personal, like 10-inch pizza.
Yeah.
Right, and like between two of us, and I don't even think we got drinks. Like I think maybe we got one drink. It was $80.
That's insane.
It was insane. Like and like that's the thing that sucks.
Okay, I was
too.
gonna say we went to sushi and it was expensive, but if I went and ate
Mm.
sushi and I spent $80, I'd feel fine because I just had a shit
Yeah, I
ton
mean
of-
that makes. I'm like, what is this?
But if I just had one little
it's
pizza,
bread and sauce and
Fuck.
cheese. Like I mean, it's fake cheese, I guess, but it's like they just upcharge you because it's special, and it's
because
and that's
they're
the other thing
basically
that sucks.
taking advantage of your situation.
Yeah, it's it kind I mean, there's definitely more to it. Like I get, like it is more, but then it's also more expensive from the ingredient side. Like it all starts there, but it's like.
but they
It's
also
just-
kind of get a little more on top. I
Oh,
feel
I've-
like just because they know it's a
Oh,
specialty
of course,
thing.
yeah,
that
and
people
like
are
I can't, like that's the only thing I can eat, so they totally take advantage of that. Because it's like to be like go vegan cheese, it's like $8 more or something. Like, is it really gonna be? is it that
So
much?
basically, the answer is yes, but it's probably not worth it.
I mean, it's an every now and then thing. I mean, if you can afford $80 pizza, then
Right.
go for it. But
Well, that's the thing. I love eating out, but it's
pizza
like,
used to be like $10. You get a fucking pizza.
well, it's
I mean,
so like
Not
even
anymore.
the whole bodybuilding thing. It's like you think it's expensive till like you go out to eat and you're like, oh, actually,
yeah, it's way more
I'm
expensive.
like,
to eat out.
it's expensive to keep up with it, but it's like not even compared to like eating out all the time.
No, dude, eating out is, and it was always expensive, and now is even way more expensive.
Well, I suppose inflation and everything, but
Yeah.
that's like what you said about balance. Like, I still think it's good to do once in a while.
Yeah, of course. I mean, go
'Cause
get
it's
a
so
great
fun.
meal. Yeah,
You hang out with your
Totally.
friends. You like.
yeah. It's just, but some people like if you just that's how they eat, man, and that's
Even most of my friends who are bodybuilders, they will do like at least a cheat meal. Oh,
Right.
And then you'll see them out with their friends, and like I think it's just a healthy thing to do.
yeah. Well, you're just gonna deprive yourself of any pleasure. That's not gonna. Is that a life you don't want?
Pleasure is weakness. It's weakness.
Yeah.
I'm following the Stoic principles, bro.
Well, I mean, I hear you at times. I mean, I think if you only follow pleasure, then yeah, you're gonna have a tough time.
Could
but-
you imagine if all you did was follow pleasure? I feel like your
Dude,
life
people
would be a
do that,
living.
man.
Well, they do, and their lives are a living
Yeah.
hell.
I mean, that's usually what a drug addict would be.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're trying to do. But
So I think you hit it on the head with the whole balance thing.
yeah, and like I mean, I definitely am not. I'm not.
We
where I
all
need
have
to
stuff
be.
we can work on.
Yeah, of
but-
course. But like, yeah, balance is. I always feel like the answer.
Hmm.
I try to find in anything like, okay, what's like the middle balance point? Like that's usually where we should be with whatever we're talking about.
Well, dude, so we're like
Yeah, where are we at?
Getting close to 2 hours, so I was gonna ask you, like, future plans with
Okay.
music and anything cool that you have that you want to promote that's coming up.
I don't have anything cool.
I mean, other than like your improv and stuff. But yeah, so just like, what are your plans in the next year with this new band and everything? Are you looking feeling pretty hopeful about like starting to rock? Because like, don't ever feel like 30 is that's not even old.
It's all downhill. No, I'm just kidding.
That could be the name of the album. It's all downhill.
All downhill from here.
Yeah.
Plans. I mean, yeah, I'm excited about this. I think it's good for me because I've really enjoyed working with some new people and it's like, and they're really awesome. Like Vaughn's been great. He's been super awesome to work with, and I'm excited for the stuff that we're coming up with. And I think a goal of mine would be to record some more music in the next year,
yes.
and then get that out in the world and play some shows. And I'm just trying to, like, with the music side, I'm just trying to go with the flow with it a bit more, not try to like
force it.
Yeah, like I just wanted to like naturally. I mean, you have to put effort into it, obviously, but I'm trying not to like be like, okay, we're starting a band. Like, what's our name? What are we doing? Like,
you want to let it grow.
Yeah, like I'm like, because I was telling Vaughn, I'm like, listen, like at the end of the day, dude, we need fucking songs. Like, no matter what, like let's just try to write some stuff and see what happens. Like, we got some dudes that want to play, and like we'll and if it's gonna if it's gonna work, it's gonna work. Like, we're gonna want to do it, not like it's gonna feel like, hey, like let's get this out there. But if we're not excited about it, then like let's not do it. So I think in the next year, like I'd like to do some more music and get some new music because I love recording, and I think that's something we want to do.
I'm looking forward to hearing that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I think you need to get that done, and then next time you come on, bring your bass player with.
Okay, I could bring Jeff.
Dude, like you guys, by then you'll probably have a name. Like,
yeah, I'm sure I could get a few of them. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, bring a couple of the dudes. We'll smoke a little bit. We'll hang out.
I don't know if they smoke. I don't.
Well,
think
then
JoJo
me and you
smokes.
will, and I'll just act weird, and we'll bust out the Metallica whiskey.
Vaughn's like an elementary school teacher, so he might not be.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be able to come on the podcast, dude.
Yeah,
He'll be canceled.
Vaughn and I are still getting to know each other, so we're still learning. I haven't asked him that. I guess that's a good question. I'm like.
But yeah, seriously.
I was actually, speaking of, I was a little stoned at our last practice or our last writing session, and like, and I realized like I don't play guitar well when I'm stoned.
Dude, trust me, I remember like.
So like I was not playing super well, and I don't know if they knew I was stoned. Like, not that I care, but like. Sometimes I feel like I should just be like, hey, by the way, I'm stoned.
If you were doing it all the time and you're trying to get something accomplished, I could see where it might make somebody mad.
But we had a great session. Like, we wrote some cool shit. I just couldn't play.
I mean, honestly, dude, you're playing fucking rock music.
But we also weren't. It wasn't a what do you call it? It wasn't like a rehearsal. Like we were.
Yeah, it wasn't like something serious. You're still in the creation process.
We were writing, yeah. So I didn't feel, and I was like on the tail end of being a little stoned. I was like,
My old band, the Go Ropers, we did that a couple times. Like. Practiced high, and like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like it was like slowing up and speed. You know, the drummer was a little. I'm like, is that my brain or is that the drummer actually slowing down and speeding up? It was actually him slowing down and speeding up because he was high. But it was also like I don't think there's anything. I mean, dude, you're playing rock music. I guess it's. Yeah, you got to feel that out with the rest of the band, but
yeah, I mean, I think because I've played a couple of shows where I was a little stoned and
dude, Shane used to get high all the time. It never once affected his guitar playing because he's a fucking amazing guitar player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah,
he's a good player.
He's crazy good, man. I got to get that guy in here because I want to. You know, first of all, Eddie Van Halen passed away, which was like his hero. So
is he doing all right? Shane doing all right?
I don't
know.
The
news, you should check in on him.
Dude, I did text him when that happened. I think, because that's a hard one, man. Like one of your big heroes passes away. But, anyways, no, that sounds awesome, dude. So,
and I don't think I have anything to really plug me. I mean, I don't really have any. Root for me on my journey to become a private pilot.
I'm rooting for you on your journey to become a private pilot and then a lead singer of a super successful band when you guys get reformed, and I'm gonna come watch you play.
Cool.
All right, man. Well, thank you for being on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Nick. Appreciate it. And Ben, you too, Ben.
Yeah, this was really fun. Thanks, Ben.
Ben, you were so quiet over there.
But anyway, thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you guys, and we'll definitely have you back on again, dude, especially with some of the other bandmates.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.